Hi everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs Kitchen. So I'm really pleased to tell you that I'm not doing the live tonight because Rachel... I know she'll start jumping around now. Whoopie, whoopie, whoop. So basically Rachel Hanna has been in the kitchen all day today, and when she arrived, you see that hand wave there? When she arrived this morning, she said, do you want me to do tonight's Facebook Live? Of course I do. So it wasn't because I didn't have any content, but I was just like...
Honest.
I was like, oh God, do I want to do tonight's live? Plus, anyhow, as it happens, it's worked out really well because what I did want to show you is not actually arrived today. Should have arrived today, and it's now been due for arriving tomorrow. So I will show you those on Wednesday. So Rachel's been in the kitchen. She's done the class today, Introduction to Sugar Paste. So if you want to learn anything about sugar paste, join Rachel's class, because even though it's happened, you can still join. And the same with buttercream as well. Her introduction to buttercream wedding cakes shows you everything. So the ladies who are watching today have had a fantastic day. They've learned so many things, and remember, this is your class to keep forever. All right, so just say hello to Simon in the kitchen. Hi Simon.
Hi Carol, hi everyone, hi Rachel.
And then we've got Rachel over there. So just to remind you of a couple of things, okay, so this week we have, I've started the new Facebook Lives must-haves. So if you go to our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, at the top you'll see a new link now that says Facebook Lives must-haves, and there you can go in there, drop down to Rachel Hanna, and you can see some of the things that we're going to talk about today. I've not put lots of things in there because I didn't put sugar paste in there. You know where sugar paste is. I forgot to put the WonderDust in, which is what we are doing today, and the brushes. So I might leg it off and give Simon the comments. Right, go and do that. But I did want to show you. Last week I was showing you the new Ingenious Edibles icing and frosting whitener. So we did it in 100ml, but now we've got the 500ml bottle. So look at that, it's an absolute whopper. So that's on the website, ready for you to buy. That's been going really well at 100ml, but that's on the website now. So if you really love it, and I have to say, it's frigging good stuff. Colour Mill, we've got the this is for chocolate. So we've got this. We can't get this in the 20ml at the moment, so I bought this in the 100ml. So the Colour Mill is excellent. So if you want this for colouring your chocolate white, this is in stock. And then we've also brought back Wilton whitener. So many of you love the Wilton whitener, which again is an amazing product, and that is in stock as well. So I hope it's in stock. I'm just going to check whether I put it in stock. For goodness sake. I'll go and put some in actually. Yes, I've ordered it. I think I've just realised I haven't updated the stock, so I'll go and do that. So it seems like I need to go and finish off my job today. I seem to have been dragged everywhere today. You know what it's like, first day back. So, and then before I go and disappear, I just want to say a few thank yous. So Breeder Arnold, I do not know what you are doing to our community, but we may as well get off to a good start, and let's start it all again, shall we? So apparently... we are now the official members of the Muff Diving Club, Simon. So Breeder has enrolled so many of us. Well, it's an official club in Donegal. Okay, and look at this. Go on, have a look, Simon. Come on, have a look at it. You didn't know about this, did you?
No.
So Breeder's got to sign. No, you, eh?
Did John know about this?
When he came home yesterday, yeah. So, so it seems we can't get away from this. So this is actually a genuine place in Donegal, and I started this conversation because I heard it on Coronation Street, and then it's just all got out of hand with you ladies. You know what you're all like. And then Breeder has now gone and signed us up for it. So I put a couple of posts on. You've seen them. Other members have put them on in the group, and it is hilarious. But I do think this bit's funny. Certificate of membership for Membership Muff Diving Club, Carol McFarland, is hereby inducted into the Honourable Society of Muffers. Signed, Lucy Lastic. Not be right, can it?
Can't be
Muffer-in-law.
It gets worse.
It's hilarious, isn't it? With a muffin pudding spoon. So Breeder, you are naughty. And she sent a lovely card as well. So I won't read all that out, but she sent a couple of little cards here. Pretending to be gullible, do not be giving me that, Breeder. And a few more of you have been there. A few more of you have been going, oh, I didn't know. Lynn Woodward, Dean has. I had no idea. Pretending to be shy there. Don't believe you for 1 minute. And then I need to say a big thank you to Jackie McQuinn, because this arrived in the post today. So all of you know that when I'm doing buttercream flowers and the classes I've done over the year, I'm no professional or expert, but when COVID was on, I put a couple of classes together, and they're great value because my classes have lasted all year and going into this year. So you pay £75, you got all last year's classes, which I think was 25 classes in last year. You're supposed to learn 30 flowers, and I think you learned 40 last year. And then this year we're playing with other things as well. So things that I want to teach myself. And anyhow, so the conversation has come up about Bob Ross, and I didn't know who he was. Last week, I had a little listen to him and I fell in love with his voice. Don't worry, John knows all about it. I've spoken to John all the way to London, all the way back about Bob Ross. And then this came in the post today. So this is Bobblehead, Bob Ross Bobblehead, with sound. Funny. So apparently I can now listen to Bob Ross for as long as I want. So look at this.
I'm afraid we don't have these on the website.
No, we don't have these on the website. Look. So there he is. The only thing is the sound is low, or I haven't got my hearing aids in enough. But I did struggle. He does say little different sentences each time you press him.
You know me? I think you ought to be a big old tree. Right about there. Skip off there. Everybody needs a friend.
Sounds like a scary phone call, that one, doesn't it?
Not saying anything then.
Anyhow, so thank you very much, Jackie. Very thoughtful, made me smile. That's what it's all about. So thank you.
Thing was Simon thinking you bought it for yourself.
Yeah, Simon thought I bought it myself. So
You're
yeah.
not obsessed.
I thought you'd done that.
I know, exactly. So I am going to run off, and I'm going to let Rachel just do five minutes or so of her talking about today's class, why you should join her last class, what she's thinking of future classes, and by the time she's done that, I should be back. Yeah? That keep you busy?
Are you going off to check stocks things?
I'm going to go and put the Wilton
Do
stuff
I
in
need to do
stock.
something then?
Yeah, you need to talk to Rachel. So we'd like to get the comments up, Simon, and then Rachel can go through this. So I'll be back very soon and I'll be on comments, all right?
Cool. Okay. Hi everyone. Nice to see you all again. I don't know if there's any ladies on from today's class on this evening, but let Simon know if you are. Hopefully you've all had a good time. It was fun. It was nice to do. So this is a class I was supposed to do a couple of weeks ago, and basically we spent the whole day just working with sugar paste, using different techniques to cover different sizes, shapes. So we did square cakes because I love a square cake. We're going to be doing some decorative techniques on these tonight using WonderDusts, and I brought some sugar flowers in from my sort of sugar flower graveyard of spares, and we're going to arrange some of those for you. That's what I call it, Simon. It's kind of all leftovers from either teaching in classes or like from shoot cakes or real weddings. They're just odds and sods basically. So we've got this 3-tiered square cake, so we looked at how to get these lovely sharp edges on square cakes, because I know a lot of people worry about doing square cakes and they're a bit uncertain. You might be okay with round cakes, but squares are, obviously we don't just have this top edge to do, but we've got all the corners as well. Then
There are definitely a few people here
oh
from today.
yeah, brilliant. Hope you've had a nice dinner and ready for some more stuff.
I'll try and read out a few. Sheila Bucket,
Oh,
Leslie Blackman,
thanks for coming back on.
Kathy Fricker, Harlem Horses, Debbie Hargreaves. I'm sure I've missed someone, and I apologise for missing somebody's names there.
Yeah, we had a good group on today, and obviously I know a lot of people had messaged saying that they were working today and that they'll be watching on catch up as well. So please do enjoy it, and obviously the guys that were here today, I'm sure there'll be bits that you'll want to go back and rewatch because there was so much information in there, and especially if you're brand new to sugar paste. So on this one we did, so these are all real cakes apart from this little mini top tier which I did last minute on just a dummy because I thought I wanted to just finish that off with a 3-tier. And then this cake we did a 10-inch hexagonal, which we did some lovely marbling techniques on, and then we did a taller with a panel wrap method 8-inch round cake, and then normal with a drape method we did the 6-inch round cake. Actually on this one I don't know where Karen's put it. Actually I used a new product. I'll get Carol to check where it is earlier today because she might want to show you it, but I used a new rolling out mat on this one, which was really interesting actually. She literally just showed me it when I walked in and went, I want you to use this on today's class. I've never seen it, never used it before, and it was the first one we did and it worked really well. So Sam, will you just remind me to speak to Carol about that mat when she comes back? Because we used it on today's class and I know it's new.
The one that was in the cardboard tube?
Yes, yeah. Because she's got a couple of different sizes in for that, but we used that on today's class as well. So you, if you are watching back on the class, or if you want to sign up for it and you've not already done that, then I've obviously shown how that works and how to use it and stuff and the benefits of it. So obviously, because it's all real cake, we then doweled and stacked and then trimmed it with lovely ribbon. This one has got white ribbon on, so it can't show up because we're going to do some different techniques on that. So I did, from the ladies that watched it earlier, we did trim this in like a lovely dusky pink ribbon earlier, but I actually, because the flowers and how I'm going to decorate this evening, I've changed it to white because I want it to be sort of a bit more white and gold. Yeah, that's basically the class. Obviously within that I have shared all my techniques and different tips for working with sugar paste. I use 3 different brands, so it's not a case that I've taught these and just used a really expensive sugar paste. I used 3 different brands, so I used the Select Island, I used the Renshaw Professional, and I used Massachusetts, the Tropic one. So this one was Select Island, this one was Massa, this was Select Island, and this was Renshaw, and these 2 were done ahead of time. But that was Select Island as well, this one. These both were, in fact. So they all are quite different in properties, and what I wanted to just demonstrate was actually with the techniques that I teach, you can use any of these sugar pastes. They're not sort of, you know, they don't require a specific brand of sugar paste to be used. They are achievable with whatever your price point is for purchasing sugar paste. So we are going to do some decorating on these today, but if you haven't signed up for the class, it's £40 and you get lifetime access to it. So we did 5 different modules on it today. So we covered 4 cakes, and then the 5th one was all doweling and stacking and discussing all of that. So it covers all timings of what typically if you're making a wedding cake for a Saturday delivery, how I plan my week, how I structure my week, what I do which days typically. It covers, there's 2 different methods of doweling in here. So there's a centre dowel in this one. In this one there's just support dowels. There's support dowels in this one as well, before anyone worries. But there's also a centre dowel in this one. So
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Renshaw. Is Renshaw Professional?
Yes.
Is Renshaw Professional the same as Renshaw Extra? Is that a different thing?
I'm not entirely sure. I've only used the professional one.
Right.
Carol will know though when she comes back.
Right.
But I've only used the professional one. So I know they did change things a couple of years back. So I don't know whether it's something that it used to be called one thing and now it's called another. I'm not sure, but we'll check in. Someone else in the group may well know that's watching. But I've only used the professional stuff. So let me show you the replica one I used today. It was, Renshaw, the Professional's Choice Premium Cover Paste is exactly what I used today.
Right.
If that helps.
Which one was that on?
That's on this bottom square one, yeah. So you can see, like, obviously that is a completely different price point to the Massachusetts Tropic one.
Debbie says the extra is different.
Okay. So the premium cover paste is different to the extra. But yeah, that's what I've used today. Obviously, there's so many different brands of sugar paste, and I just wanted to make sure that you understood that you can, with the techniques, you can achieve a beautiful finish regardless of, if you're confident with the techniques and you practice them and you watch the videos back because you've got them forever now, you can just keep watching back. There's 5 modules, so 1 with each cake. So this was module 1, this was module 2, this was module 3, this was module 4, and then doweling and stacking was module 5. So there's stuff going into the notes as well, which I'll be putting in over the next few days with regards to how much sugar paste we used on each in terms of a weight, so that you can obviously plan around that. And I know there was lots of questions in the group today about how many portions you get and things like that, so I've covered all of that in today's class. So just go back and re-watch those to get all of that information. And if you haven't already, like Carol said, you can just go to the Sugar and Crumbs website and go to shop, classes, and it'll be in there, or just search for me by name in the search bar of the Sugar and Crumbs website, and it will come out. So this is the second class, so it's Introduction to Sugar Paste Wedding Cakes. The first class, which happened February time, which is also in the classes shop, was the Introduction to Buttercream Wedding Cakes. So we did, again, 2 wedding cakes, all dowelled and stacked, all real cake. This is all, you know, these aren't dummies, apart from this little one. And we did one that was a 3-tier semi-naked cake, and we filled it, we covered it. We talked about chilling and timings and storage and transportation, stacking, all that kind of stuff. And then we also dressed it with fresh flowers as well. And we talked about how to do that in a food safe way. We talked about different styles of flower arranging, and we're going to do a little bit of flower arranging with my sugar flowers tonight. And then on the second cake that we did with the buttercream course, we did a 2-tier, which had like a rustic buttercream ridge finish to it. So the 3-tier semi-naked one was quite smooth and quite clean looking, and then the other one was a bit more rustic and had texture on it and things like that in a really simple way, that you can do without any investment. You can just do that with the tools that you've already got for cake decorating. And yeah, they looked amazing. And I know some of the ladies from the class have been posting their own work following the class and had some amazing results, and lots of people looking forward to using those techniques to do wedding cakes for their friends and family members, hopefully as soon as weddings are allowed. I know technically they're not allowed at the moment for 15 people, but fingers crossed end of June we'll be able to go back to normal, but who knows, all these new variants and stuff, so we'll see. Watching with bated breath on that one. But yeah, today we are going to do, on these 2, we're going to use some of the WonderDusts. So I've got some stuff ready here, and we're going to do a bit of a mixing of 2 of the colours. I'm going to actually, on this marbling, pick out some of the marbling tiers and with the WonderDust and just introduce some lovely metallics on that. And then we're going to do some more metallics, I think, on this top tier, and then get a lovely floral arrangement on here. And on this one, we're going to use an impression mat from PME in a honeycomb texture, because it complements this shape here nicely. But we're going to do some partial coverage of some honeycomb in a really beautiful golden colour across some of these sharp corners. And then we are going to put perhaps maybe some lovely white orchids on this one as well. So everything will be sugar, so you'll get to see me arranging some sugar flowers. So if you're a bit nervous about arranging sugar flowers, or even about making them if you've never made them before, please hit me with your questions tonight on those. I've got some classes on my website that you can, there's 5 different sugar flowers across 3 live classes that I did last year that you can still sign up to and get access to those and watch them back. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that as I'm using some of those leftover flowers from those classes, and when we're getting those on the cake. So yeah, I think you're sorted, you're happy?
I think so, yeah. Just don't find me locate my phone.
Quick question, the mat that I used today, the new mat,
yeah,
I was just talking about that, is it down there, or do you know?
Karen
She washed it and boxed it up.
There.
Oh, she's a good one. She's a good one. So this is the new mat that I used today on this top tier. So these are on the website now, aren't they, in 2 different sizes. So definitely, if you're not sure about this or want to see it being demoed, we demoed it on this top tier today. It was the very first one we did, and it worked a treat. It was new for me, so you don't need any cornflour, so it's really good. When we were using it, we decided actually it would be really, really good for, you know, if you're doing vibrant colours, like a, you know, foam box red, or if you're doing like a really dark blue cake or a black cake or something like that, and you don't want all those white flecks left in the icing from using cornflour or icing sugar, this is brilliant because you don't need any. You just use a little bit of Trex on it, and it means that you're not left with any of that white ice, like dusty icing ingrained into your lovely vibrant sugar paste. So it's really good if you're doing lots of those cakes. It comes in 2 sizes as well, so it was really good to use that. And literally as I was using it, I was like, this is actually a really good solution for those vibrant coloured sugar paste cakes where everyone sort of gets really frustrated because they end up with those little flecks of cornflour and stuff, or icing sugar embedded into the icing. So it's brilliant for that. So you happy? You don't need. Do you want to update anyone on anything before I crack on? Or
I'm sure there's something I've got to, I know what I've got to tell you. Okay, so I've put 2 posts on the main page, which is where you are now. So if you watch Karen's both lives while I was away last week, you can go and pop a comment over there, what you said. So I'd like you to like and share. I noticed that nobody is really liking and sharing anymore, but we'd still like you to like and share if you want to. But go to the page there and post a comment of what you thought of Karen's macarons, what you thought of Karen's friands, coffee, gluten-free coffee and walnut friands she made, which were beautiful. Okay, so make a comment there, and that's in with a chance of winning 4 bags of Whipping It Up. So the offer that I put on last week should have finished. I think you've just realised I've completely forgot about it. So I'm going to continue it until midnight tonight, because I've got some work to do until midnight, and then I'll take the offer off. So anybody who wants to buy the new flavoured icing sugars at £2.50 each can do. The bundle is, I've just updated the stock for that, so you can do that. And Whipping It Up is on offer at £3.99. So grab them now. They should have finished at midnight last night, but I'll extend them till midnight tonight, because as I say, I've got to stay up till then. And I've only just realised as I was in there. So I put them in the wish list. In the wish list, I've also put in a couple of classes in there as well for you to join. Joe Griffin's classes in there, Julie Rogerson's new classes in there, and I need to put Hanna the Cake Illusionist class in there, which has just come to mind. So,
you're going back in?
No, I'm not going back in now. I'll go and do it afterwards. So do join the classes. Ask all the ladies here what they think of the classes who've been in them, and they'll tell you that they are fabulous. Right, okay, so let me go and find comments then. And do you want to play with this new friend today?
Yes, I'll use it when I'm doing the impression mats.
Yes.
So I'm just using the Copper Luster WonderDust with a little bit of dipping solution. So rejuvenated spirit, dipping solution, or something like a alcohol-based lemon extract to create an edible paint. So try not to use vodka, because we want this nice sort of thick but smooth consistency. We don't want it really runny. So you can see there it's got a nice sort of consistency to it. If you're using something like vodka, it's got far too much water in it. So yes, technically it will create an edible paint, but it will be a lot more liquid, and therefore it'll be a little bit more tricky to control when you're trying to be quite precise with it on the cake, and it will take longer to actually dry as well.
And can I stop you? I forgot to ask Simon to share this stream into buttercream into your class.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You can't do that now, can you?
Can you post it in afterwards or not?
Yeah, I can post it in.
Yeah.
Sorry ladies who were in the class today, but when I finish this live, I will pop this live into that class. So
we did tell them to watch it in here so you could keep an eye on the comments anyway.
I did. Right, so we've just got we're 8 people short of 400 people watching you, Rachel.
Amazing.
So that's really very good. I don't know what you've all been saying. Oh, there, Nikki King, you've just woke up. What have you been doing? So, has Nikki been in today's class?
I have no idea.
No.
Some people did come on and say, but I don't think Nikki did.
Just asking, how is your father?
Oh, he's doing all right, thank you. He's home from hospital. He's still having lots of other tests as an outpatient, because they've not quite got to the bottom of things yet. But yeah, thank you so much. He's home, and that's obviously with my mum not being able to visit because of COVID. Him being home makes a big difference. But yeah, they're saying he had a very lucky escape, because he didn't have any sort of physical paralysis, but he definitely had he lost all his speech and everything, but it's all seems to have come back. They're not quite sure how or why, but you know, sometimes you just don't get answers to these things. So yeah, he's still under review and being monitored and all that stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed. But thank you.
What?
Going to be on the camera.
Oh, right. Sorry. So Jane McDougall is actually popped the link up for Rachel's class.
Oh, brilliant, Jane.
So that's good. And I'm just going to pin it now so you can see that.
So I'm just using quite a thin brush here. It's a 0 grade brush, and I'm just using right on the tip, and I'm just following some of these marble lines and just sort of picking out some of them where I want to just sort of highlight, and I'm just quite lightly dragging the brush down to follow the line. You don't need to do this, but sometimes, you know, people quite like incorporating metallics into some of their wedding cakes.
I think it actually adds another feature. I think it looks lovely.
Definitely.
Yeah, lots of people were really pleased to hear about your dad.
Aww.
And
I did tell him, you know, I said, because he was annoyed that I'd gone because he was downplaying everything and was saying, oh, you know, you didn't need to have come, or why are you here, and it wasn't necessary and all this. And then I didn't tell him about that. You know, obviously postponed the class, but my mum told him, which I was annoyed about because I thought it's just going to make him feel worse. So then, yeah, she did tell him while I was there, and he was like, "Why have you done that? Why, you know, you didn't need to do that." And I was like, "Well, clearly, my mum doesn't drive, so." I was like, clearly I did, but okay. And yeah, so I said, honestly, everyone's been super lovely about it, and like they've all sending you lovely wishes to get better, and so, you know, like it was, not only was it lovely for me, but it was nice to be able to tell him that as well, so.
absolutely. Right, just a little question. So Portia is asking, Rachel, are you not better off moving the squares away? Is that because we can't see very well?
Do you want me to move the squares, or are you struggling with angle?
I think it would probably be better actually, and then we could get it on that
Oh,
camera.
I see, right.
Do you want me to move it, and then you can get it, so you can get it on this camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
they can see a close up.
Fine, yeah, no problem.
That cake's nearly killed you a few times carrying that, hasn't it? Do you want to lift it over here?
I was watching Terry with them earlier, that was hilarious, because obviously I'd been moving them around as individual tiers all day, and like, fine.
They weigh a ton.
Yeah, and then when I stacked them at the end, and then she came to move them to take some pictures, she went to move one and she just didn't budge, and she was like, I was like, do you want me to move it, Terry?
Right, do you want to
Yeah, if you could slide that over
You're
a
going
bit.
to slide that to the centre now.
That'd be better, yeah.
Great.
Just working on it. There in a minute.
And then we can, is that camera set up ready there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you're just working around and picking out some little bits to highlight, so you don't need to do it down every section. We're just picking out some nice lines that you might want to just draw attention to and pick out. So even though we're adding some bling, you don't need to go and do every bit. And what I tend to do is, as I get towards the end, I might go slightly thicker in some places, and then as I get towards the end, I might just thin it out a little bit, so it kind of just, instead of it just stopping, it kind of just peters out a little bit.
Yeah, they're saying that's a much better view.
Good.
Well done. So a few of you are asking how Lincoln is. Lincoln is still with us, and I hope he is going to be with us for a long time, but his back legs are going, and I really don't know what to do about that. So I'm off to the vet with him this week. And a few of you are asking, did I enjoy my weekend off? I did. I feel totally chilled and relaxed. My son and daughter-in-law live in London, and her parents are in their late 70s, so they've got no one to help them. And unfortunately, I've not been able to go down because I've been here, so I felt really bad that they've had no help since the baby's come. So I went down and gave them a little bit of breathing space for the weekend. And it was lovely to watch Bella. I've got an Ella and a Bella.
Have you?
Yeah. It was lovely to watch Bella not do a runner in the opposite direction when I arrived.
I saw that. Your post put a huge smile on my face.
Yeah.
It was so
and
cute.
that's the first time. Normally when she sees me, she bursts out screaming her head off and legs
Kids are
it.
funny, aren't they?
Yeah. And this time, no, not at all. She actually burst out screaming when I disappeared. And when John disappeared. Yeah.
Aww. Yeah, kids are funny.
Yeah, so you're over 400 now, Rachel. Ooh. So, and they're saying this is so relaxing to watch.
Isn't it? Some people say that today when I was going around smoothing the edges. One of the ladies said, "This is so relaxing." I'm like, I am sweating working it. But as long as it's, some of them were like sat in the garden watching, and I was like, "Ooh!" Like, right, on to the next one. But yeah.
So Geraldine Allen says, ask Rachel, you got the words the wrong way around, the same as me. Was you trying to trip me up there, Geraldine? She said, can I ask if it's not too cheeky? With Hannah's classes, this is Rachel, that's me always getting muddled up. Does she provide any of her recipes? Only she's got her eye on a couple. Do you provide any recipes in any of the classes that you do?
Or is she talking about Hannah?
No, she's talking about this one.
So not the cake recipes, no, because obviously people have paid separately for those. So they're available. I've got 2 collections on as PDFs on my website. The class today was just about sugar pasting, so it wasn't about baking, it wasn't about ganaching. I do have 2 videos on my website about ganaching. So I've recorded a video on how to ganache a hexagonal cake and a video on how to ganache a square cake. They're like 35-40 minute tutorials that are available, and the recipe for white chocolate ganache is in that, and the method, and I show you how to make it and everything like that, and then how to use ganaching plates and obviously get all the sharp corners, the foundation basically for that we've then covered, because this is like ganache underneath. So the ganache recipe is in that, but the cake recipes and stuff like that are in the recipe PDFs, which are on the website. But today's class was just about using the sugar paste. So there's no recipes in that. Okay.
And any news on the shoe kits? I do have the shoe kits, they're all there, but I've just got to, my graphic designer is actually designing a booklet at the moment, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm still waiting on a label from Simon.
Simon looks confused.
Stop looking at me like that, we've had this conversation.
Yeah, I've given it to you to give to your designer.
When did you give it to me?
I gave you, sent you all the pictures weeks ago.
You sent me pictures, you was going to do the label. The front of the box. Don't start that, Simon. We had this conversation on Thursday. On Wednesday, don't be winding me up.
Are you winding her up?
He's winding me up.
The designer's doing it.
No, she is not. She is not. You are. Check
Well, that's
it
a
in.
new one, that.
Don't, it's not a new
It is
one.
a new one,
Don't
Carol.
be sat there arguing with me.
Completely.
Listen, we've got an audience watching here. We're not having a scrap here, me and you. I'll sort him out after, girls. Don't worry.
You can do it if you
Eh?
want.
I'm like, this is
I can marry a couple.
I'm just going to keep painting.
Anybody who's been in our classes with me and Simon, this goes on all year. Do not worry. The gold outlining makes it pop.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the front of our
They're
cake.
waiting for me to speak Simon up in front of the camera.
Simon's in bother apparently.
Yeah. He's in floke, isn't he? He doesn't frigging listen. Or handle 2 things at once. Oh, and we've got a happy 40th birthday, Rachel. So, Rachel, we've got a happy 40th birthday to Lola. So, are you ready to start the singing?
I'll paint and sing at the same time.
So, Lola. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lola. Happy birthday to you. Oh, do you see Simon have a little pitch then?
Yeah.
Are you trying to make up?
I'm trying to...
No, you're trying to make
Trying to
up your
harmonise.
Happy birthday, Lola.
I like that name, Lola.
Try and make myself feel better, because you're like,
Oh.
forgotten that you'd taken it off with that job.
I most certainly have not forgot.
All right, guys.
I do forget, but I didn't forget that.
I feel
one.
like I need to mediate this situation. Quick shot. Okay.
I was trying to watch Rachel here, and you're distracting her.
I wouldn't mind. I've not even had the picture of the shoes anyhow.
Of course you have.
I have not. Right, check it in.
It gets worse. It gets worse. So just like with marbled veining, obviously there's thicker bits and then it trails off and then it breaks up a little bit and then it reappears. So we're just trying to sort of recreate that look to it. And don't be afraid to kind of go around corners and over the edges. We want this to look like a solid marble.
It does make a difference, that, you know, Rachel, doesn't it? I have seen this on cakes before, but I actually do think that makes... It's just a delicate touch, doesn't it? It makes a difference. Yeah. Makes it classy.
And I think, you know, quite a lot of people, like I say, do have metallic accents in their weddings.
Yeah.
It's not, doesn't have to be a full-on, like, major colour, but they might have, like, you know, gold or rose gold, like candelabras or cutlery and things like that. Or there might be stuff on their stationery that's metallic and that you think you can then just mirror in a really small accent way like this, that just ties it in with the other sort of decorative elements that they've chosen for their actual wedding day. It makes sense to their guests when they go, actually, because the first, like, especially if it's on stationery and stuff like that, you know, like gold foil and stuff like that, it's quite popular. So it just kind of adds to that. But yeah, it is a very sort of just easy, therapeutic last sort of addition to the cake that just gives it a different dimension. And you can't really go wrong with it, so it's a good one to sort of have a play about with. And if you're not sure, you know, you can just, if you're not sure about marbling and stuff like that, you can easily just create the look, like, you know, just roll it out and just cover a board with it and practice on that if you're nervous about perhaps messing up on a cake or something like that, or if you're not confident enough to actually cover a cake yet, you can still do these things. You can cover cookies with them, you can make cupcake toppers with them. As a technique, it you know, doesn't have to be on a cake. You can use it on other things as well.
So somebody's just asked, and I know it's Geraldine, she's just asked, who is going to receive these lovely cakes? Would you like to tell them why they're not?
So, because, like, as some of you know about my dad 2 weeks ago, so this class was supposed to run 2 weeks ago today. I've lost all track of time. So these cakes, 2 weeks ago yesterday, were all ganached and sat in my fridge at home, ready for Monday's class. And then Sunday night I got a phone call and had to go, and rang Carol, and we postponed the class, and obviously to today. But
you can't throw away the cake.
But rather than throwing away, like, it was for five tiers of cake that I'd baked, buttercreamed and ganached. I left it there in the fridge and thought, hopefully it'll be okay to still work on. But the cakes themselves are actually more than 2 weeks old. So obviously they were baked before last Sunday, 2 weeks ago on Sunday. So yeah, they're probably about 2.5 weeks old, the cakes. So no one, I've sort of told Carol she's not to feed this to anyone, because it will not be nice. And yeah, I wasn't sure what it would be like inside, but it wouldn't be nice. So
well,
yeah.
What I was...
Don't know. You're like, well, I was thinking maybe I could give it to these people.
I was thinking to give it to the warehouse lads, they don't care. So,
I do. Oh my God.
What I was going to say is, it would be nice to cut inside them.
Well, this is the point. I don't know what state that cake is actually in inside. Right. So if you want to do that later this week and see when you're demolishing it or whatever, that is up to you. But I don't know what state. They're not potentially going to look normal, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I think that. Did you keep them in the fridge once you'd done them?
Yeah.
Did they stay there?
But
when
it just
did they come out the fridge?
This morning.
Right.
I just left. I run my fridge really mild, so it's not much different to ambient. So they're in the fridge purely to sort of keep them out of the way, basically. But my fridge is like run when I've got ganache cakes in there, because I don't like it being really cold for it. They run, you know, quite mild, like literally on low.
Right.
So yeah, they've been in the fridge, but not super cold.
And they're saying, should we cut at the end of the experiment?
No. I don't want to.
I'll tell you what
Don't
I'll do
make
is
me.
I will cut them on Wednesday, because on Wednesday afternoon I'm doing a live on Wednesday afternoon. It may not be on the... Is it on the calendar, Simon? Do you know? Did I say I was undecided whether I was doing a live or not. So I'm doing a live on Wednesday because we have a new member of staff joining us on the team, which is a lady called India. So she will be training with Simon tomorrow on buttercream flowers. And then she'll be training with Terry, I think, on Wednesday. You're not doing Wednesday, are you? I think it's because I hadn't decided whether I was doing something or not. So I will be, because what I was going to do tonight that hasn't turned up, I'll do on Wednesday.
Yeah. I think if you're, I don't know, it depends when you're going to photograph these. Whether you're going to wait till tomorrow.
I'll get Simon's photograph on tonight.
Okay.
And then...
Because then I'll need to take all the flowers off before you start.
There's nothing on Wednesday.
Right, okay. So we're doing a live at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I'll get an update on the calendar.
So it's not decided who's doing it.
Right.
We didn't know that.
So it's either Simon or Terry, anyhow. So whoever's doing it, that was it, because Karen's off on Wednesday.
Right.
That's why I was undecided. But because I'm not doing tonight's live now, I'm going to do it on Wednesday afternoon.
Once your nozzles are
Do you
right.
want to do it, Simon? Should we
I'll have to
continue our
check my
shotgun?
calendar.
Oh, you have to check your calendar. Right. Oh, okay.
Because I didn't. I got uni stuff on, I think, this week. Or I'm not sure. I might have, or might be next week. I
Right.
don't know.
Anyhow, somebody will be on camera.
Somebody. I'll probably be okay.
And I think what I'll do is I'll chop them up there.
And do not let us serve it to anyone, Simon.
And birds love Victoria sponge. They're saying it would be nice with custard.
That's what Karen said today.
You'll bloat them all up, they won't be able to fly.
Yeah.
Listen, have you seen the fat birds in my garden? They actually really love my cake. Having said that, I've also seen the dollop and muck they left. One bird left a massive big one. It was as big as a dog's. I can't believe a bird could do that much on my wall.
It's got
Too
issues.
much information.
It's got
Well, it was
issues.
massive. I walked in today. I thought, where the hell did that come from?
So I'm also just going to do a little bit on this top. So I'm going to cover the top and then just do a little bit all the way just down. This, like part way down this top tier. So I have to be really careful to not get any on this, because usually you would do this before they were stacked, but obviously we were stacking today in the class. So I'm going to do it in situ. So I've just mixed in there a little bit of the glowing bronze luster, just to take, because this one's quite a red coppery, so I just want this to be more a little bit of a bronze rather than the full-on red. So I've just mixed the two.
I'm just laughing at lint off. The district nurses will give this cake a Miss Carol.
Yeah.
They normally don't.
She's like, no, I'm out. Not interested. Finally, someone sensible. So I'm going to have to be careful not to try and drip any of this anywhere that it shouldn't be. So I'm probably going to be putting it on less. Do you want me to move it over so you can do the overhead?
I'll find you.
Okay.
So you've
Betsy.
diluted, you've toned this down with one of the other colours then?
Yes.
So what colour have you done?
So I've put, it was a little bit of the copper colour.
Yeah.
And then I've put in, so that was the copper luster, and then I've put in quite a bit of the bronze luster, the glowing bronze.
Yeah. So I was telling you about my nearly going under the other day then, this morning, Rachel.
Yes.
And I with lustering.
Yes.
So Rachel, I asked Rachel would she cover some dummy cakes for me so that I can use them for like display cakes and things. So when I did the little video for the WonderDusts, they were fresh. She'd only just dropped them off, I think, that week. And yeah, so I've come back many weeks later. How long have we had WonderDust in stock? Because I think we've had it in stock now about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So last week I'm sat here all prepared, very excited with myself to start lustering the cake, Rachel. And it wouldn't luster. I put it on, it fell off. It just kept coming up. The more I brushed on, the more it brushed off. Didn't know what the hell was going on. And thankfully, before I actually crawled under the table and died.
When was this?
This was last freaking Wednesday. I was nearly dying. Should have seen it. So somebody bailed me out and said, Carol, your cake is too dry. The sugar paste is hardened too much. It's too dry. You need to steam it. And then it went on like a dream.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That was news to me when you told me about that this morning. I was like, maybe it was the
did
brand of sugar. Well, because I've only ever lusted fresh cakes, you know.
Yeah,
I don't usually keep them around for that long, then start working on them. Most unusual.
Well, it gave us it gave us an excuse to get out a brand new steamer and use it for something.
There you go. But yeah, I had no idea. I was thinking maybe it was the brand of sugar paste I used. Who knows?
It's got nothing to do with it.
But yeah, well, because it didn't even occur to me about the moist, you know, the dryness of the.
Yeah. Or whichever lovely lady that was, I was very grateful for.
Would you just spray it with water, or does it need steaming?
Steamer's a bit more subtle, I think.
Yeah.
It's not as, you know, the water can. I mean, it was that dry though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, we could have possibly sprayed it with water. The only thing with the water pump thing, it can come out not evenly.
Yeah, that's true.
And run as well.
Yeah.
I nearly had runs on this one because I had the steamer too close to the cake. To be fair, I freaking don't care as long as it worked and it stuck.
There you go. So I'm just using a few different brushes here. So I've covered the top. We might need to go over that. I'm like, not tall enough. We might need to go over that in a second coat in a little bit just to give it the consistent finish to it. But just with one coat, you can see it's already quite a nice. And I'm just using this brush here. I'm like going the opposite way to the camera. I'm like, it's not helpful, Rachel. To just sort of draw down flicks like that to create like a jagged top to it. It looks crap right now, but trust me.
It's all going to look good. Oh, I wondered, you know, when you said you was going to do luster the cake all together.
Yeah.
I was thinking what are you going to do with the ribbon bit, but you're not going to do it all.
No.
Oh, you clever girl. Another technique.
It's not my first rodeo, Carol. It's not my first rodeo.
There you go, another technique learned in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Anyway, Margot Cook said she used the Twister icing sugar at the weekend and it was lovely. It reminded her of the Starburst sweets.
Oh, love a Starburst.
Let's see. So Lisa Rachel Mellon said, I used dry WonderDust on the top of my mum's cake to replicate the Manchester City pink and blue paisley shirt. Fantastic. Nice, isn't it? Yeah, you've not seen the new colours, have you?
I've seen them. I've seen you with them. I've not used
sold
them.
out. We're sold out.
Oh,
in 2
amazing.
days, yeah. Could you put masking tape on to put? Could you put masking tape on to put the WonderDust on?
Yeah. So, well, I don't use masking tape. I use medical tape. So, you know, just it's like from Boots. Well, any good pharmacy. So it's like, it's not super sticky, so it's not going to leave any tackiness on your, but obviously it's, you know, when you buy it, it's sterile, it's not been in a B&Q warehouse. Yeah.
So Natasha says, saw the dust advert today, it looks gorgeous. Just ask everybody else what they think. It works lovely on chocolate as well. How much is the rejuvenator fluid? I think it's £6 something for the largest bottle, which is 280 mils. Rachel's got one there. You can use dipping solution or rejuvenator. They're both exactly the same product. And do they work with the perfect pour or the easy pour? Yes, they do. Okay, no problem at all. And Paul the Ball Baker said this is going to look awesome. It is. It's looking awesome already.
A bit of bling can never hurt.
And Julie Haig said, that must have been what was wrong last week because her silver didn't cover intense enough and must have been too dry. And Julie, I only learnt that myself, and as Rachel said, she wasn't aware. But once we steamed the cake, was you painting a dummy cake as well, Julie? Because the thing is, you need to know that for dummy cakes because so many of us use dummy cakes in between tiers, or we use it as a bottom cake, don't we? A lot of us. Yeah,
because sometimes if I've got a dummy cake as part of a wedding cake, I can ice that ahead of time because I know I can. It's not gonna, you know, there's no cake gonna be going off inside of it. So yeah, that's, you know, it's sheer luck.
You might
that
give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Drying out before you decide to rest it.
It's sheer luck that I've never sort of come across that really, probably.
Yeah.
But
so Geraldine Allen says, I love watching Rachel. Right. So Geraldine had me tongue.
She said, "What now?"
Because I still want to be Simon. So
knew it'd be our fault.
I love watching Rachel. You do have some fabulous tutors, Carol. I actually thought they were all fabulous.
Sweet.
And then doesn't mean some. I thought I was the best.
Who's she dissing?
I thought I was the best one as well. Just to let you know, on the website as well, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, on that top tab, I've added some more tabs to it, and one says online tutors. And basically, we've got classes. So if you go to the main page, you'll see classes. You can go in and all the classes are there. But sometimes you're looking for a particular tutor and her classes, and depending on the title will depend where it shows in the class section. So I've now put the tutors independently with their own classes. So if you have got a favourite tutor, you can go and see what they've got. So that's on the website. I've also put a social media link page up as well, because some of you aren't aware of all our social media links. So if you click that, you'll go through to all our social media links then, so you can go and join them all.
You are helpful. I need to send you my stuff for my profile-y bit.
Pardon?
I need to send you all the stuff for my profile-y bit.
Yes, you do. You got the email then?
I did, yeah.
I've not had a response off anybody yet. So
it's like, oh no, it's pressure of what to say.
Out to all the tutors to say, can I have a profile picture? Can you give me a bio about yourself? And everybody wrote back, yes.
Yep, no problem.
We've gone. I'll have to exclude Jerry because I didn't have her email address when I wrote to everybody, and she's given it me since, but I've not wrote to her yet.
So I've gone around and done like a
second. It's
second
called Micropore.
Yes, that's it.
I used to use that on the kids when I was wrapping up anything. Yeah, they've all come up with Micropore.
So it's like it's not super sticky, but it's sticky enough, you know, to stick temporarily to your cake to create sort of guides for you.
Well, you don't want anything too super sticky because
You
the
really
problem
don't.
is you'll end up ripping off your sugar paste, won't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a lovely effect, Rachel. I really like that.
And you just, it's like one of these where it's like when to stop.
And they're all saying mouth dry skip. What does that mean? Mouth dry skip.
Is that you not getting your words out? I don't know.
I don't know. That's Debbie Hargreaves, mouth dry skip. Not sure what that's
Well,
about.
dry mouth.
Is she in the right group?
Well, with the Muff Diving Club, I'm really just not sure these days what groups we're in anymore. So, Anne Cunliffe said, I made 3 different flavours of ice cream over the weekend using bubblegum, rum and raisin, biscotti flavours, and oh my god, they tasted amazing. Didn't last long. No, they won't. I'm trying to catch up on all the cut thing is. I wonder if the WonderDust would work in a spray bottle once mixed with Rejuvenator.
I think you'd have to thin it quite a bit more than what we've done here. It would give you a completely different effect.
Little hole, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
like I know people have tried to
that
use
clog.
it in like airbrushes before, and that it clogs
They
your
do
airbrush
clog.
up. Yeah.
So can you tell me if we are getting the bouquet cupcake boxes back in? Yes, we are, but the supplier is out of stock. I bought everything that she had for Mother's Day, and I'm waiting for her to come back into stock. I just need to let you all know, guys, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but there is going to be a national shortage. In fact, there's not going to be. There is actually a national shortage of cardboard.
No way.
So that's my other problem with cardboard boxes for my shoe kits. Each supplier I've gone to has said you don't stand a chance. So soon we're going to be sending out your orders in carrier bags. So
Newspaper. Wrapped up in newspaper.
we have stocked up on a load of boxes, normal boxes, but if you Google it, there's a national shortage of cardboard, and I don't know whether that's come about
I
because
think there's one company that's to blame, isn't there?
I don't know whether who's to blame. Amazon.
The one who sends all the boxes out.
Yeah. I don't. Do you know what I think it's possibly about? Because everybody's been shopping online. Everybody's just done boxes, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do seem to overbox their things.
And Angie Bradbury says Rachel has a lovely aura around her when teaching.
Oh, that's a nice thing to say to me.
And Geraldine apologises, Geraldine Allen. Sorry, of course all the tutors and Carol and Karen are amazing.
Oh, we were only winding you up.
Eh?
We were only winding her up.
Carol, can you shed some light for me while what all this muffin club is about?
I asked the same question earlier today.
Well,
It's a no-go subject, isn't it?
It makes Simon uncomfortable. So
it makes
Because I
John
know what John will
uncomfortable.
be, because I know what John will be like.
John goes under when we talk about it.
I'll be knocking on the window.
Yeah, because when it's regular viewers watching, they all get it. But when somebody just comes in and we start talking about muff diving,
Like me this morning. I was like, what? What is that? I was like, there better be a backstory to this and it's not just some random thing. So yeah, I did get told.
It's just a diving club near where John grew up.
Yeah, it's literally an actual diving centre
yeah, genuinely is one.
in a town called that. Look, she's leaving this right next to me.
Don't suppose you could do something like a splattered effect, show them how to do the splattered effect. I've got a dummy there.
Yeah.
That one I ruined last week.
The one
So
you-
Karen has kindly
This
wiped
one?
it clean for me, yeah. And it showed, we'll have to move your cakes, but we could show them how to do the
I'll
splatter
do it at the end
effect.
then, shall
Yeah,
I?
we'll do it at the end, yeah. Where we can splatter Simon. Right.
So I'm going to put some
So Emma says she only wished she had one favourite tutor, but she's got 3. Well, I hope I'm in there, Emma.
Yeah, Emma, I hope I'm in there.
Yeah. All the tutors be going, yeah.
Yeah.
Emma. I best get on there.
So on this one, we're going to just then do a nice floral arrangement. So the good thing about mixing different shaped tiers I went through today is that obviously you can see here we've only got, because this is a 6-inch and then this is an 8-inch, you've only got a 1-inch void around here. So if you're trying to put something like this beautiful Sugar Pro tier on, it's kind of going to stick out quite a bit from here and it's going to look a bit awkwardly placed. Whereas with a round on top of a hexagonal, so this is an 8-inch round and a 10-inch hexagonal, we've then got these lovely bits here that jut out a little bit more, and they give you that extra space where you can nestle bigger headed flowers. Things like the protea, a David Austin rose, a huge peony, that kind of stuff.
So can I just tell you about these flowers? Now, Rachel actually offers these flowers as classes on her actual own website. So, because I think this one's absolutely stunning and amazing, and all the others that she's going to show you as well. But I did ask her, so I've got no problems where you go to buy your class, but she's done a recorded class, so, and they're yours to keep forever. But would any of you like a live class on it here in the Sugar and Crumbs Kitchen? Because Rachel's open to both. And if you are open to both, then I'll have a chat with Rachel and see what we can do. The only thing is you would have to watch, because the thing when you make sugar-based flowers is things have to dry. Things have to dry. They need overnight to dry, and Rachel would have to bring them in stages. But I'm going to get her to show you some of the beautiful flowers that she makes. And if you're interested in those, please let me know, because I'm thinking of future classes that Rachel can show you. And you know, it's like she does ganache, so you can go over to her website, you can buy everything on there now, or we can do individual classes here and you can learn as a day where you can ask questions. It's entirely up to you. It's just an idea that I was talking to with Rachel. Let me know if that interests you at all, and we can put that together if it does. So
the other thing we said on today's class actually was obviously thinking ahead to the next class, where today we've worked all day to create like a beautifully iced blank canvas that's then ready to decorate, and there's a lot of work that goes into getting it to that stage. But obviously, because we were going really in depth in that and really wanting to give everybody all the information that they might need, there was no time then obviously to then decorate them. So we're doing a little bit of an introduction to decorating tonight with some simple quick techniques that you can do. But we obviously want to do then a follow-on so that we continue to develop your skills as you gain more confidence and learn each stage. We then provide you with the next stage so that you can like progress your own skills. So we did ask today for ladies that had done the class, and for obviously anyone that wants to watch back or sign up still, then we said about sending in ideas for what you might want to see in terms of decorative techniques for wedding cakes. So obviously there are tons. So if you've got any in particular that you would love to see that we could potentially incorporate into a class, which is just where we would start off with the blank canvas. So it wouldn't be ganaching, it wouldn't be sugar pasting. We'd assume that you were already up to speed with those skills because you've done the previous classes, or perhaps because you just already are. Then what decorative techniques would you like to see incorporated into a class that we can then put together for you for future? But yeah.
I'm just trying to catch up with the comments. So, you know what? You're all so kind. They're offering to flat pack the boxes and send them back to me. Yeah, you can at your own cost. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. You should Google, actually. I keep meaning to Google it myself. Don't Google yet because I don't want you to disappear. But send yourself a text message to remind yourself to Google what the hell's going on with cardboard boxes in the world at the moment.
Literally,
and
what
I would
the
probably
hell?
suspect that Amazon is to blame.
We blame them for everything.
And
really.
it's so lovely of you who've got boxes. I mean, if you do click and collect, feel free to bring them back. But normally, when you do click and collect, we give you everything in a carrier bag. Anyhow. So, yeah. And Karen Naylor says, bring your empty boxes back on demo days. That would be great. Demo days. And I'm just going to whiz through past loads of comments here because I'm way behind. So, people would like to know flowers or the suede effect. Things like that on cakes, and new ideas would be lovely to learn. So don't private message me on Messenger. I'm not on Messenger anymore, okay? I'm off there. It's done me the world of good. But if you are interested in learning flowers, I'm going to get Rachel to show you. As I said, you can go to her website, buy them tonight, and you've got them to start learning tomorrow. But if you would prefer a class on, and Rachel will talk about doing them in groups of flowers, if you would like to learn them as classes, then we can do it that way. So just let me know what you prefer. And I'm just going to run next door because I am doing so well on my diet. Have you noticed I don't eat anything anymore?
Well done.
No more munches, but I really need to go and get
something.
No, I needed. I've got some sweets from Holland and Barrett that are sugar free. I just need one, only because my mouth is dry. I don't actually need a sweet at all, so I'm just going to leg it there.
No worries.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to try and use this King Protea because it's obviously we've got this lovely big space which just is crying out for something big and statement.
I'm nodding there, Rachel.
Yeah, no, I can see him. It's like, yes, I approve.
Yes,
I very much approve.
I think that'll work now.
It's like design technician. So the classes that I've got on my website for sugar flowers, it's a bundle of 5 different flowers across 3 live classes that I did last year, but they're recorded and you can still, just like the same with the classes we've done today, you can still sign up to them and then you get put into our Facebook group and you can watch them all there and obviously ask questions and post pictures of your own work with the other students. So we've got 3 classes but 5 varieties, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. So class 1 was the sugar stocks and delphiniums. I'll just show you that against the cake. So stocks and delphiniums pack a real punch on a cake because they're such a different shape to all the other flowers that you might have. So things like peonies and roses, for example, they're such a different shape and they create amazing height. So we love using these. They come in all different colours. They're really bright and impressive and people just think that they're real.
I think they're stunning.
And they're amazing. I love making them.
Today is stunning. My favourite is that one.
The Protea.
Oh my God.
We're going to use that today.
Yeah.
So the second one is the King Protea. So this is like the national flower of South Africa. It's a real like trendy flower. So I have clients that come to me because they have seen these on my website and they are, you know, they've got a beautiful bridal bouquet and they've got maybe 2 or 3 and they're much bigger than this. The King Proteas in real life, they're like the size of your head and they're just huge and they've got this massive great big wild bouquet and the King Protea is like a big focal point for them because it's just so weird looking but fabulous. So they're great. They take quite a while to make, but you obviously don't need many of them because they're huge.
Ask, can you put that under the camera? Can you have a real close up?
Yeah.
So this would be a class. I'm asking you, do you want to learn this flower as a class? What else would you do with that? But that would just be one class on its own. Yeah.
So this when I did it, it took like 2.5 hours to do it all with the leaves and everything. So it does take a while to do because these centres take this. You know, there's quite a while in those centres.
What would you charge for something like that on a wedding cake?
Off the top of my head, it's been that long since I've done a wedding cake now, Carol. Not for lack of trying. I'll come back to you on that one because it's just been a little while. But the charging of them is obviously really important, but you don't need many of them. So the good thing about this is that they're impressive. They're going to impress people and make them happy because if you've got these in your wedding, then to be able to have them on your cake, people just love that, you know, because if you got a real one of these, it would just be so big to fit on the cake. So we've shrunk it a little bit, but it's still obviously compared to other sugar flowers. So like compared to this rose, for example, it's still massive. So it takes up a lot of real estate on your cake, which, you know, you could have one of these and then some foliage or something like that, and that'd be done. Yeah, so it's quite a good option. But yeah, so it's quite big. It's like half the size of my head.
No, but it's stunning though. I think it's something we should learn. So Caroline Croft said, we have to blame Brexit and Amazon for cardboard shortage. It has gone from £10 to over £140 per tonne. Because cardboard is costing us a fortune to buy at the moment, cardboard boxes, and we can't get any. And when I come to do the shoe boxes, every supplier has said, you've not got a chance. I'm on an 8-week wait list.
What a shame.
So I don't even know I'm going to get the shoe kits done. So I'm not getting stressed about it. So they're in the building. I'm going to get my brochure done. I'm going to get my label done. And then I'm going to go through my shoe cupboard. I'm going to phone everybody, give me your shoe boxes.
Oh God. So that's class 2. So the first one was stocks and delphiniums. So the delphiniums are slightly different. So I do a black and white delphinium, which is really striking, really quite modern. If you look on my Instagram, you'll see some of those from shoots that I've done with those in. I did a shoot with them just a couple of weeks ago. Really, really nice. And obviously the stocks, they come in all different colours. So lovely sort of blues and pastels and stuff like that.
So they would like to learn that one as a live class.
Okay.
So why don't we set that up as one of your next classes, as well as your other ideas, and then we can do that, see how that goes. If people join it and it goes, then we can look at others, can't we? So if you want to learn this flower, any of the flowers that Rachel's going to show you, you can go to her website, which is
www.ma for Marie Antoinette, macakecompany.co.uk.
So
if you just go to shop, all the classes, so we've got the video classes on there, the pre-recorded ones, and so the pre-recorded ganaching ones. I've got the flower ones, which is a bundle of five different flowers all in one, and then recipes, lots of PDF recipes and stuff on there.
So she's got lots of things over there that you can buy if you can't wait. But if you want to join a live class, let us know, and then we can set it up as a live class for you.
So the third class is, again, back to 2. So the first one was 2 different varieties, the stocks and delphiniums, because they're quite a similar process but one of them has stamen, one of them doesn't, and the colouring and stuff is different. The second one is a protea because it takes a while. So they're each about 2.5 hours. The second one's a protea, and the third one are these anthuriums, which are amazing. Again, a bit weird and wonderful. So these have got like a slight pinkiness to them, and these are the white ones. Again, I'm seeing these used a lot in weddings. So a lot of the trends that we get in weddings here are like adopted from perhaps Australia and New Zealand, and these are used a lot in the florals there, and they're starting to appear in weddings here. So I've basically chosen things that I think you may start to get asked for more and more. And then these beautiful ferns. So huge fern fronds, which I'll just put down on there. And it's a really simple technique. This is quite repetitive, but there's keys to making them look really refined and not chunky. And definitely, if you look at that on the front of this cake, these greens go really nice with the coppery tones and the marble. It's quite a modern look, but the ferns, getting these big fern fronds, again, you might just need a couple of those at the front of a cake and nothing else. So it's trying to find ways of making sugar flowers in arrangements, because sugar flowers take a lot of time to make, and for me, I want my clients to use my sugar flowers rather than just putting fresh flowers on the cakes. A, because obviously it's a skill that I love doing and want to be able to charge for and charge well for, but also B, it then eradicates any of the kind of difficulties around using some varieties of sugar flowers which are perhaps not suitable for cakes. So I want my clients to opt for the sugar flower, and I will always do my best to sell them and encourage them and sell the wow factor of them. But I realise that obviously huge, great, big, abundant arrangements of sugar flowers, if you're charging properly for your sugar flowers, can sometimes be cost prohibitive to clients that really want to work with you. So being able to create arrangements that look impressive and give a wow factor, but that haven't taken you a week's worth of making sugar flowers for the cake, is a really good commercial approach to being able to sort of satisfy both your desire as a designer and to be able to demonstrate your skills and enjoy making using the skills that you've got, and also giving your clients the look and the style of cakes that they want, but also that they can afford. Because I get a lot of people coming to me and they say, oh, we just want something simple. My cakes are quite, the overall look is, there's not too much going on, but there's a lot of skill and time that goes into them. And sometimes people don't equate the simple look with actually the time it does take. And so yeah, their idea of simple is lower cost, when in fact sometimes that's, if you've got nothing much going on in the cake, you've got to pay that extra amount of time making sure, there's nowhere to hide, making sure that everything is really flawless. Because if I was then covering this with stencils, I might not need to make it so perfect. If I was covering it with molds and stuff like that, I might not need, or ruffles, I might not need to make sure it's completely perfect. There's nowhere to hide on a cake like this, because it's just sort of, it's a bit of a blank canvas. So the thing I'm going to do is get this protea put in. Just move that off there.
That's done enough. So I think a lot of people are up for a class. And I just want to say one more thing. I'm going to interrupt. So all of you have got the ganache kits, okay? So Rachel very kindly came in and did a Facebook Live on the ganache kit, showed you how to use them. As you know, I showed you how to use them many times, albeit I did go under with the white chocolate ganache on my first one. But Bridget's Cake Room did their very first live this morning at past 11 on Instagram.
Saw them advertising that. Obviously, I couldn't watch.
To be fair, the girls were scared to death, and you can see that at the beginning. They've never done a live before. They didn't realise about the 30-second delay, so they were asking, is anybody there? They didn't realise that they were sort of ahead of things and everything.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to know everything about your ganache kit, okay, they are It's there. Go over to Instagram. I will get the link and I will pop it in the community group and on our page later after this live, so you can see it here as well. And I have asked the girls to do a live on our page, obviously from Ireland. They can't get over to here. But they wanted to get the Instagram one out the way because they were so scared. Yeah. So I only saw half an hour of it. I didn't see it all. But did you see much of it?
No, I was teaching. I just saw when I had a break before, I saw it on their stories that they were doing it. So, but I've obviously not managed to see it yet. But yeah, I knew they'd be nervous. But it is nerve-wracking the first.
And they've never done a Facebook Live before. So it's an Instagram Live. So it would be lovely when I post that link for you to post it, to comment on that link. And then don't forget, I'm going to be doing a draw tonight, 2 draws, both for Karen's Facebook Lives. So if you've not popped a comment on, go and pop a comment on, because I will be drawing tonight for some winners. And I believe that Karen was a bit cheeky while I was away. She was throwing
giving stuff away.
Giveaways, having a great time. She decided she was the boss.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, friggin' meek and mild looking at me this morning. Like a little pussycat. She was. Never said a word. That looks stunning. Doesn't it look stunning, ladies? So what's that one called?
So this is an anthurium.
Alright, so I've just seen that. A lady has just said it's also known as a naughty boy.
What is the anthurium? Oh, I never knew that.
I'm just going to
say things like that.
You're like, oh, goodness.
Actually, she specialises in flowers as well, this lady. She's lovely. I just need to find her. What's her name again? It's Linda Elizabeth Donnelly. That's it. Knew it was. Lovely lady. Great cake artist as well. She said another word for them is naughty boy.
Never knew that. That's so cool. Yeah, I always forget the word anthurium. It's a miracle I've remembered it when you asked me.
I will never remember that name, but I will remember naughty boy.
Brilliant.
And while I'm looking at Simon, I will definitely remember.
Yeah. You'll be like, Simon, what was that flower called again?
Yeah, naughty boy.
Never knew that. Love it.
Yeah, so please go over and pop your comments over there on those 2 things. 1 comment per person. Don't forget to like the post, like the page, and it would have been nice if you share last week's lives, but not into our group. Share them with just your friends. And somebody's just asked a question. Do you ever use crimpers?
Crimpers? Oh,
for your boards?
No, I never have done. I never really learned how to use them. I'm mostly self-taught and I've never really learned how to use them. I just prefer the simpler look. So if you're familiar with my cake style, it is a bit more less is more and a bit simpler and pared back. So my look is kind of quite clean and smooth. So it's just... I've
got to be honest, I think crimpers were very fashionable at one time.
I think so.
I used to sell loads of them.
Yeah, I bet.
And then I stopped selling them, and it's been on my mind whether I should restock them again.
Right.
But also Laura uses them on her boards, and I think
does she?
I think you can use them and they can look pretty, and I think you can also use them and they're a bit over the top.
Yeah, and I think it just depends on what look you're wanting, and if sometimes your cake needs something extra and sometimes it doesn't. And I think if crimpers are a good, quick and easy way and you're comfortable with it, for me it's not something I ever taught. So the thought of using it on my board and risk mucking it up is just something I've never done.
Well, I have to say, Rachel, this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we have a question here from Lola. So she says, Rachel, if you could only buy one thing, what would be your most prized item? I presume she means for cake decorating.
Not like a handbag or
a car. Shoes. Diamond ring.
We staying on theme.
Yeah, so if there was something in the cake thing, what would you can't live without? You'd have to buy.
Can't live, just one.
Just one.
God,
just one. Just one. Pink board, grey board.
See, that's a difficult one for me because I've only just got my grey board and I've lived a long time without it because I didn't realise. So that's who knew? I just didn't know that I needed it in my life.
Julie Rogerson made me laugh. She had bought the grey board and loves it so much, she's bought the pink board.
No way!
So she's got both in her
That's
studio.
Hilarious.
Because she's got pink curtains that are exactly the same pink as this. She said, I just thought I'm going to have them both.
That's hilarious. I'm not sure, do you know, like, because the things that I use again and again all the time are like, they're nothing sort of amazing.
What do you use over and over again? If you had to go somewhere, what would you take with you everywhere?
I would say the thing that made the biggest difference to me to my cakes was Flexi Smoothers, and they're only a few quid. But for me, when they came out, the difference between just using, I still use these all the time, so my finish is a 2-part finish, so I use these first and then finish off the Flexi Smoothers. I only used to have these, and the difference it has made in terms of being able to repair little knocks and damage and, you know, any imperfections on there that you just can't, I just can't get to with these, is huge. But so yeah, definitely it's not even like anything massive. And then I've got like my favourite tools.
Let me just carry on. So Flexi Smoothers, we actually own the brand for the Flexi Smoothers now, but we've none in stock because I am trying to get the materials. So the company, so one delivery has arrived today, so I'm just waiting for the other companies to deliver, and then we're going to make them, so hopefully we should be able to get those soon. And I'm quite excited about this comment. So Liz Mosley says, Carol McFarland, Mr. Baker reviewed your icing sugars on his YouTube channel this weekend.
Did he?
Well, I have no frigging idea till now. So we must all pop over afterwards to Mr. Baker. I'll share that in the group.
Who's
so,
Mr. Baker?
Mr. Baker's
Who's
Cakes
Mr.
on
Baker?
you,
Mr. Baker's
star of
Cakes.
YouTube.
You can't say that about Mr. Baker. It's like saying, who's Carol McFarland?
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, I didn't say that, did I?
I'll share the link with Mr. Baker's blog. So I didn't know that he'd done that because obviously I've been away for the weekend. But I'll certainly go and have a look and I'll share that.
Is it a good review then?
Pardon?
Is it a good review?
Yeah, we best check it's a
we
good
don't know.
review.
Actually, Liz, I haven't seen it. Is it a good review? If it's not a
Well,
good
you
review,
tell everyone about it.
if it's not a good review, reporting it. Ding.
Yeah, dislike. You can put a thumbs down on YouTube, can't you? Get everyone disliking it. Only joking. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure they were lovely.
Carol Rose says, stunning. I really enjoyed the classes today. The flowers are so realistic.
Thank you. I love making flowers. If any of you guys already make sugar flowers, you'll know they are really therapeutic. I just, you know, you get all your stuff set out and yeah, just while away hours and hours.
And they're saying, say the pink board, Rachel, which makes
the
me
pink
think some
board.
husbands may be in the background. See, Rachel said you can't live without the pink or grey
I don't
board.
have the pink one, I've got the grey one, but yeah, we know what you mean.
But they are both out of stock at the moment. I'm just waiting for the supplier to get them to me. I don't know what's happened. He was giving me a reason why I haven't got them.
You can live with just one though, can't you?
One grey board.
One grey
Or pink.
Or green even.
He was giving me a reason why my grey boards and pink boards are not here today, but I've got to be honest, I can't remember. I've spoken to that freaking many people today. I've actually achieved a lot and achieved nothing at the same time.
I bet you've achieved loads. It's always the way.
So I have.
No, I know, but...
So Caroline Morgan says, really enjoying this live. I've only managed the last about 15 minutes of today's class due to work, so I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching and learning more techniques from Rachel. And Jackie Evans has replied and said that, oh, I don't know, something going on about a perm. Forget that. I don't know what that's about. We're now talking about perms in another conversation here.
So random.
Is this what she can't live without? Perm.
I think somebody said that they are out of date now. And
the crimpers,
yeah,
right.
And Caroline Morgan is saying, yeah, she can't remember the last time. I think that's where the perm's coming in on the conversation. I've lost a little bit.
Right, that makes sense.
Debbie Hargreaves says, yeah, Karen Naylor's had plenty of dodgy perms in the past. How ironically has my hair now gone curly all on its own? Bob Ross had a big perm.
Yeah, back to Bob Ross.
Mandy Harvey was going to say smoothers.
Oh, that's interesting.
And Geraldine Allen's got a whole stock of crimpers if anybody wants to buy them. No, thank you.
So, yeah.
I'm just switching around, Rachel.
Okay, fine.
Just to confuse you.
I'm like, which way am I going? So there we've only used 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 3 flowers and 2 bits of foliage. And we've obviously covered the height, we've got height there, and we've got this big front arrangement on there. So yeah, you could obviously keep adding to this if you wanted. But we're going to do some lovely orchids on the next one and do like keep it white and gold on the next one. Because again, the white and gold colour theme for weddings just never goes away, never.
So Lisa Matusha says, I made a lovely cake on Sunday with the biscotti and pistachio icing sugar. It was amazeballs. Yeah. So remember the icing sugar, the new icing sugars, the sale definitely finishes at midnight tonight. Should have finished last night, but I was in work and completely forgot all about it. They love making the flowers, love watching you. Kit Curran says she had a fabulous day today.
Aw, thank you.
Lee Carroll says, I love making flowers, just love them. Liz Mosley said, yes, it was good. So happy you didn't know, I thought you, yeah. Oh, so she's given the link to the YouTube for Mr. Baker, and she said, yes, it was good. Good. Do you not think the word should be brilliant? Let's see. They're saying what a lovely, elegant cake it is.
But it is quite simple, but, you know, for a lot of people, that's what they want, and it's certainly not, it's got its wow factors, and it's, you know, a lot of the time when I do the marbled hexagonal tiers and I show them at wedding fairs, you get people debating whether it's cake or it's something else or it's the cake stand, and they're a bit thrown by it, so it's definitely a discussion point. And then obviously just the impact of the luster, and then the sugar flowers, again, people just debating whether they're real or not. It's when they realise then they're sugar, it's like it's a different level of amazement, so it's always lovely to have that impact. And some people really want that, you know, for their guests, and it's a bit different. So again, people don't want necessarily a cake that their friends have had. So what you tend to get is that couples tend to all get married within quite close succession of all their friendship groups. Yeah. So they end up going to like a million weddings, like within maybe the course of 3 years. They're at like 4 or 5 weddings a year, normally, obviously. But because of that, they're then seeing lots of the same kind of things, and they want something different, which is where the lovely proteas, I was going to say bad boys, naughty boys, the naughty boy flowers, the fern fronds, and like the metallics and the hexagonal shapes and stuff like that, they can just provide that for, you know, it's taken no time at all to do that. So and if you're on the class today, you'll be able to see how simple marbling was, and even covering the hexagonal tier with the technique that I teach was just, you know, it's like covering it and decorating it in the same job. It's like you're doing it at once. So
question for you, Elaine Lawson asks, can I ask, how do you manage to store your flowers when the weather is hot?
I just have them in, I have 2 cabinets in a room on the top floor of my house, which is basically, it's north facing. So it's not got a huge amount of natural light in. It has windows obviously, but it's not massively exposed to bright light, and it doesn't get hot in there. So I do have a portable air conditioning and dehumidifier unit that I can just pop on. So sometimes humidity is obviously not great for them, so it tends to be more humidity or damp that bothers them, because they draw in the moisture and they lose their firmness. So some of these, you know, 18 months old, some of the flowers I've got are longer than that on my display cakes, and they're all absolutely fine. The only problem I've ever had is if it's been really cold and we've not had the heating up on that floor, sometimes you just need to pop the heating on or stick the dehumidifier on. But it's humidity and moisture in the air that will really kind of cause it a problem, because they absorb the moisture and then they go kind of all floppy and completely, they lose out all their shape. So if you've got a particularly humid environment or a workspace, then obviously you can get like humidity readers that then really quite cheap, that then can send alerts to your phones and stuff, and then you can obviously switch a dehumidifier on, which are not hugely expensive either. You can just get portable ones. So if that is a real problem for you, definitely have a look at trying to control the environment a bit more. But
does that happen much here in the UK? We never get that.
It does, yeah. Well, it can be damp. So like I would never store them like in a cellar room or anything like that unless you've had it properly damp proofed and tanked.
Yeah, that's
so if you sometimes people have like their cake stuff in like in a garden room, you know, like that.
In a shed.
Yeah, and like just like you know those garden studios, they can be really bad for it. So a friend of mine she does all hers in a garden room, but she can't leave her display cakes in it because it's not like it's a garden room that you buy from a garden centre, but it's fine for working in.
And they get really hot, don't they?
And then in winter there's obviously get really cold and damp. There's that dampness. So it really depends on your environment. I'm touch wood lucky because I've never had a garden room or anything, and they've always been in a solid building. But yeah, I keep them basically in dummies, basically just all mixed in. Just in a glass fronted cabinet and away from direct sunlight, no damp or anything like that.
Never store in a plastic container.
No,
never ever. You'll cry. So the next question is, what was I going to ask? What was my next question? I forgot what my next question was. Oh my god.
Well, I'll say hello to YouTubers.
Oh yeah, about bloody time, isn't it?
Hello,
YouTubers. You don't half look after your audience, don't you?
I do, don't I?
You do, yeah.
They love me.
What is it? What is it? We're 1.5 hours in and you've only just mentioned that.
Do you know why that was? Because I was having to deal with the other lot. Facebook guys.
The other lot.
See, this is the thing with Sam, we can't do two things at once, which is why I still haven't got my label for my shoe kit
Oh
yet.
god.
Don't start that one.
So do you want to say hello to everybody on YouTube?
Hello on YouTube. As usual, we have Jill Cook. Hello, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
And Susan Noon, who's just popped up, and Merch Mobile Banks, and Carol Morgan, and Nikki Kelly.
Margaret Banks, is it?
What?
Is it Margaret Banks?
Madge Mobile Banks.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought she'd go with Mobile Bank for some reason. Was she not go with Mobile
I
Bank?
don't know what the mobile bit is, but maybe when she was tapping it into YouTube, she got a bit carried away.
Right.
So, Jane McDougall's have you ever made the silver dollar eucalyptus?
Yes.
Oh, I missed Elaine Coombs out.
Oh,
Sorry.
Elaine Coombs.
And
Hello,
Karen
Elaine.
Nicola.
How could you?
So Elaine Coombs is Nutty Elaine. I haven't seen her on here actually.
Yeah, but on YouTube she's posh. She's not,
posh. She's
not as naughty.
She's got a proper name.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh.
Not nutty.
Well, we're going to meet Elaine. She is actually coming to one of our demonstration days.
How do you know I am?
Well, you're not going to meet her. I'm going to meet her.
Oh, okay.
You're not invited, Simon?
Currently not.
Yeah, you can come along if you want us to.
When is it?
We've got two. One the 26th of June, one the 3rd of July, which is the week after. And then I don't think we're going to do one in August, but I'm going to start setting out September, Octobers and Novembers. Molly Robbins is going to do one. We will do one. I think she can do September or October. Do you want to do one, Rachel?
Yeah, can do.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing here, Rachel?
So this is an impression wrap from PME. They do all kinds of different ones. This is a hexagonal like honeycomb one, which I really love. So I'm just going to roll out some sugar paste on it to create a sugar paste, a honeycomb texture. So I've just put a little bit of corn flour on it to help it not stick. This is quite soft and stretchy, the sugar paste, so we still might get a little bit of sticking, but we'll see. And I'm just going to attach some of it to like the top corner of this cake and perhaps the bottom corner of this tier here, and then paint it with some gold luster dust, and then we're going to put some beautiful sugar orchids up the front.
Somebody's just said, oh, they're beautiful then. So somebody has just said what type of spikes. They're actually called picks. Yeah. What size spike have you used? You would use one according to the size of your flower.
Yeah. So obviously something with more wired petals in is going to have a thicker stem. So the Proti, for example, I used quite a big one. I don't think I've got any more of those big ones. So these are the PME ones, the plain white ones, and I tend to use the medium and small ones. But for the King Proti, I used a fat one, a large one, and then these are the Culprit ones.
Yeah. If you go on our website, we do sell them. They're called flower picks.
Yeah, PICS.
PICS, yes, no K. So we have a selection of them there. So Nikki King says, how long would the flowers take to make? Depends which one.
It depends on the yeah. So they all take quite different amounts depending upon, which is why in the classes we've got 3 classes. The first one has got 2 flowers in. The second one, which is the Protea, takes quite a while to make it, but it's obviously huge. That's the only one in that class, and then the third class has 2 flowers again, so the ferns and the anthurium, naughty boys, because they're a bit quicker, so you can fit 2 of them in. So each of the classes is like 2.5 hours long, and basically I just filled them.
As a Facebook Live, would they be 2.5 hours long? We'd have questions and stuff like that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to buy the classes, what's your website called?
www.macakecompany.co.uk.
Yeah. So Rachel has already recorded them as classes. Okay, so if you want to buy them, I'll get Rachel to just shout out the name so you can go and buy them tonight off her website, as you can recipes and other things that she teaches over there. If anybody would like to have it as a Facebook Live actual class where you're sat in and watching and it's a proper class, she doesn't advise you do it with us, so she advises that you watch. I will discuss with Rachel a price for those classes and we'll set those up for you. Okay.
Yeah, because it's whether you want to do, like, obviously today's class we just filled it with content to fill the whole day, so it's whether you'd want to do something like that so we can do like a few different things in there, or whether you just want me to incorporate like the protea into a full day of wedding cake decoration stuff, with some other techniques perhaps. So yeah, or just do a 2.5, like 3 hour, like a half day almost, just on the king protea.
And Linda Elizabeth Donnelly, she's come up with a good idea on storing the flowers. It's not the heat, it's the cold and damp that really spoils sugar flowers. It's best to use those silica bags, or put rice, dried rice in with them, and that keeps the moisture away from flowers. You do that, you put rice in your salt, don't you?
And the silica gel, it's like what you're getting.
Yeah, in your salt jar.
You know the silica gel that you get
when you shake your salt, stop it drying out.
Yeah.
Have you never heard of that? You just,
Would it not get ground up with your salt?
You've never lived, Simon.
in your salt shaker, have you never put some dried rice in?
No.
You've never lived.
Oh my God, this is why you know
But
about Bob Ross and I
That would
know
get
about
ground up
rice.
when
It
you're
doesn't
grinding
get
your
ground
salt.
No, that's different, that, because that's granulated salt, so that doesn't dry up and clog up. But when you've got just the salt, that's already
Granulated.
That's already refined. That's already
Ground.
ground.
Like table salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the winter, that can get damp.
And then it doesn't come out
It won't come out
because it's
And you see all these people banging the salt cellar on the table,
it's
don't you?
clumped inside.
Then they turn it upside down. Then they take the lid off and flick a bit
I
out.
don't have one of them.
No, well, we're all posh these days.
You don't have those kind of
Ground
problems
salt.
in your life, do you, Sam?
No. Those are definite first world problems.
So here's an interesting question. Lisa Barker says, will Rachel do anything with Lustre? What would you like her to do?
What is that question?
I'm really not sure about that one. Will Rachel do anything with Lustre? What would you like her to do, really, Lisa Barker?
I mean, it's a mystery.
If you want to know how to enter for when I do the draw shortly, and I'll get Rachel to pick the winners for us, you need to go to this Facebook page, which is where you are now. So if you've got 2 appliances, keep your phone on and go to your iPad, or vice versa. Go to this page, which is Sugar and Crumbs with Nifty Nozzles. You'll see the 2 posts there. Just scroll. They're one after each other. They're both about Karen. So one is about her making macarons with whipping it up. Wasn't she amazing? I told her to take it nice and slow and show you. She did great. And then the next day she actually did use whipping it up to make coffee and walnut friands, gluten free, and showed you how to make those. So you write a comment there. If you didn't watch it, don't write a comment because you can't say why you actually watched it. So so what I want to know is, why did you watch it? What was so good about it? And then we'll do the spinny wheel afterwards and we'll get Rachel to pick some winners.
The spinny wheel on the screen.
On my phone, yeah.
So I've just obviously rolled some of this out and got the impression mat, the lovely texture on there. And what I've done is I've just kind of created a bit of a random texture on the corner.
They're getting rude here. Those naughty boys are not drooping.
They are not.
They're not drooping, no, they're getting rude.
Simon's actually shaking his head. Like,
It's just going to start off a whole new conversation with the muff dive and the naughty boys and the droops.
don't take my beautiful sugar flowers with filth.
We're not that kind of show.
Love it.
I
was like desperate to
maintain.
maintain.
Carol, you should put some sugar flowers classes on. I would definitely go to the classes. I'd love to learn how to do sugar flowers. Great info, thank you, Rachel. I am on YouTube too. Trisha Linda Neal, you've missed her. She's on YouTube too.
Yeah, but she's not said anything. So
No, you've not said anything, so we can't see Trisha.
She has now. I'm on YouTube too.
She's not said it on YouTube.
Oh.
She's said it on Facebook.
Yeah. So Linda says she stores her flowers in shoe boxes too. You know, I wanted to ask you a question, so I now remember what the question was. Do you ever just sit at home and think, you know what, I'm just going to make some flowers so I'm ahead of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just sit
If
there
I've got a light week, so if weddings go ahead, when we hope they might, basically looking at my calendar from August onwards it gets a bit ridiculous. So for me, I'll spend July prepping sugar flowers for August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
Because there's no like, the only week I've got off is for my 40th birthday, and I'm not doing wedding prep that week. I'm having that week off.
Whose birthday?
Mine.
Are you 40 this year?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
August bank holiday.
Yeah. August bank holiday.
That's my birthday always falls around the August bank holiday.
Yeah.
It sounds great, but when you work in the wedding industry,
Yeah.
it's such a popular weekend for people to get married,
Yeah,
so it's a bit of a pain. So I have to always I was like, no. 2 years ago I was like,
So what date
no.
is it in August then?
27th.
Ah, right, so it falls this year.
Yeah. But it's usually like around, so I don't know what day it is in bank holiday, but it's usually around that time.
It's the last Monday of August, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anne Reynolds says she has flowers that she made over 15 years ago, and they are still okay.
Yeah.
Jackie McMinn says Simon. She's watching on YouTube, but have you said hi,
Simon.
Jackie?
She's not there either.
They're all getting miffy now because you've not been shouting out their name. But you cannot
can
shout out your name if you don't tell them you're there. You don't pop up there like you do on Facebook.
I don't have a list of people who are watching. I only have a list of people who've said alert.
Can't say further than that, Simon.
I haven't seen any comments for Breeder Arnold. Is she on tonight? Or has she gone into hiding now she's joined us all up to the Muff Diving Club?
Who knows?
So Leah Gillam, I really want to come to the open days, but nobody will come with you. Why do you need someone to come with you, Leah? Just come, we're all friends there.
We'll all be there. So.
Yeah, you don't need to bring anyone with you. A few of you have said that I need to bring someone with you. Why? We don't know who they are, we only know you. So those ladies who are all coming on your own, just come on your own. There's no point bringing mates with you because we don't know them. They don't know us. Come and join all your mates.
Everyone knows each other, don't they?
Absolutely.
That's the point of it as well, isn't it? So that the people that you've kind of made friends with online but never met, you can finally.
Oh, so Lisa Miles Darcy says, I got my big and smaller rolling pins today. They are a game changer. I was amazed at the difference. So what did you think about the new rolling pins?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, and again, like if you're doing strong colours on, you don't have to use corn flour on it, or I know some people use icing sugar, but not having to use that and have those tiny little specks and grains in your colours is brilliant.
So I only had the guys run it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. He's got no boards for me, no rolling pins. So I think what it is, he's having trouble getting the stuff from Germany, and he goes on holiday next week, the same as me. So I think he's panicking. I think he's ordered in time, and then he doesn't want it arriving while he's away on holiday. So I put in stock some more large rolling pins this afternoon. There weren't many. I think I put 4 in stock, and I think I have actually got 5, but then I had to take one out for Debbie Hargreaves, so I will end up with some surplus stock. And Simon's brought one back home from Photographs, so that can go in stock tomorrow, and the gentleman is going to send me, I think he's got 4 more, so I'll get all those in stock for anybody who wants them. Lynn Feather says, do you do a class on orchids?
I haven't done yet, but we can do.
Yeah, can do.
So I can now say hello to some more people.
Oh,
amazing.
They're all saying hi now.
They're all saying hi now.
Go
They
for it,
want a
Simon.
hello. They're all speaking
Yeah.
up, aren't they, Simon?
So hi Jackie McMinn and June Barrett and Serena Lawson.
There you go, ladies. You have to speak.
And
so I
Debbie
can't see
Hargreaves.
you. Oh, they're all
I'm
popping
sure
up now,
Debbie
aren't
Hargreaves has already had a hello on Facebook.
they? She's, I've not mentioned her name tonight. I haven't seen her comments. Hi, Carol. Can we have these flower classes in the S&C class? So I'm going to speak to Rachel afterwards. I'm going to ask her to put a list of classes together. We'll get them up on the website. We'll do one at a time and see how you join. If people join, Rachel will come back and do another one. But if they don't join,
Tough.
yeah, she dead hard, Rachel.
Tough. Tough. You either want it or you don't.
What's your favourite flower paste to use? Says Julie Whitehead.
So I tend to mix between different ones. So I find the Squires one, which is readily available, I find that quite firm. So I tend to mix that with something else. So like with maybe the Renshaw, like something that's quite a bit softer. The Renshaw or like the Ultra Fine by Simply Heaven or Simply Heaven by Ultra Fine, can't remember which round it is. I sometimes make my own. So yeah, I tend to mix them a little bit, as in like actually make a mix of two different together, because some of them are like super soft and too stretchy and tacky, and then others are like really firm and you've got to work really quickly with it. So for students, I tend to start them off with a 50-50 mix of something like a Squires plus a Renshaw or a Simply Heaven, because it just, one of them's really soft and one of them's really firm, and you just mix them together and get one that is kind of in the middle and really usable and the best of both worlds. But there's so many. It's a bit like the sugar paste we were talking today. Like when I first started out, there was hardly, there was like only maybe a handful of sugar paste brands, and now there's just so many. So it's brilliant because you've got all this choice. But yeah, don't feel like you've got to sort of stick to one. Like, so for example, if you're wanting things to set really quickly, or you've got thicker things, so like with the anthurians, for example, naughty boys, because they're thicker and you're wanting that thickness to them rather than really fine rose petals, you can get away with the Squires, because the thicker things are, the longer time they'll take to set, and something like the Squires is on the quicker time of setting. But if you're making something that takes a while to make, having it set up really quickly can kind of work against you. So it varies. Sometimes I'll reach for certain things because of the variant or the type of flour I'm actually making rather.
So I'm way behind on comments because I'm only now just catching up with what you might do with the dust. So, and we're still talking about rice. A lot of people didn't know about putting rice in the salt bit. I can't believe that either. I found that amazing. And then Annette Lawson said she made flowers in Australia. It was very humid.
Yeah.
She put them in a plastic container with rice and it worked a treat.
Yeah.
That's amazing, putting them in a plastic container, because a plastic container normally melts them, doesn't it?
Again, I suppose if you've got the rice though, or the silica gels, then, and I suppose where you've then got them, if you've got them like in a cupboard and they're away from direct sunlight and stuff, and it's not in a particularly, and as well, like some countries, they have lots of air conditioning, don't they? If they're really hot, they just have aircon. Whereas we in here, if we have a heat wave or something humid, we've not got anything, have we? Like I do, I've got aircon, but typically in our homes we wouldn't have that. Whereas in more humid countries, they all just have it, don't they?
Should we tell them what you're doing? Because I realise we've been answering questions and talking. And have you rolled that out and showed them how to do it, or did we just talk?
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
It's just I just did it in one lot.
When I'm trying to read comments, I don't actually see what you're doing.
Just gonna get some of this. It's a bit chunky.
Oh, Leah was hoping that one of her daughters would come, but they don't want to. Come on your own, Leah. Seriously, your daughters won't want to be stuck with us. They won't be interested. All you ladies should just come on your own. Don't be shy. And just meet each other. It will be lovely.
100%. I'm just going to mix a little bit of the gold. I'll tell you exactly which one it is.
I've not put the September class on yet because I need to speak to Molly, because I think she's happy to do a September class, a September demonstration day. So I'm trying to get a date off her. If not, I'll be asking somebody else and then get a date for Molly in October.
So I'm mixing a little bit of the bright gold with a little bit of the glowing bronze, just to add a little bit more depth to that gold. And then in with the dipping solution again.
So just while you're doing this, so I'm just in a conversation with Jake here, Michelle Quinn. I'll DM you. I still did not get this. I'm aware that Carol was travelling down south, I think, for the Sugarcraft Guild. Not sure if I'm saying it right. I thought that was maybe in May and I wanted to go, but I'll be alone.
You know what you need, Rachel?
What?
One of them little spoons.
Yes, that's what they've said. A lot of the ladies have said you should be using one of our little spoons. But I don't know where Carol's put them.
It's the first time I've heard of it, so...
let me just go and find them. So let me just tell you, ladies, I am doing a demo with the British Sugarcraft Guild on the 8th of May, Saturday the 8th of May. Now, I should have been going down to Brighton to do that. There's 3 other demonstrators as well. The ticket for the day is £10 for the day, so you get 4 demonstrators. The next one, I'm on first. The next one is Dawn Butler, and then there's 2 other ladies. There's also lots of prizes and giveaways. There can be as many people join as they want. I am actually on holiday in Cornwall, so I'm having to pack up all my stuff and go to Cornwall and make it there, do it live in my holiday. So I've also invited some ladies along who live in Cornwall. So if you do live in Cornwall, I have actually opened my holiday residence up for the day so that ladies can come and watch the live then. You don't have to buy a ticket then. Not for my part of the demo anyhow. But if you want to buy that, the ticket money is not going to me. I'm not getting paid for it. They have asked me if I want to be paid, but I've donated it free. So the ticket is going towards the British Sugarcraft Guild to keep that going. So just let me go and see if I can find those little spoons to show Rachel.
Are you a member of the guild?
No.
No, I'm not either. I do get asked from time to time whether I'm a member, but...
I do a lot for our local guild as well. I'm not a member. I should join, shouldn't I really?
I just didn't know whether you had to sort of be a member to get involved in stuff, or... I'm glad I've asked you that.
Oh, there's some nice flowers in here. You didn't tell us about these things, did you?
Well, because sometimes they just don't work with the colours and the shapes and stuff, but yeah, there's loads. I packed them up 2 weeks ago and they've been sat on the dining room table ever since. I have a lot at home. Because I'm like, when I'm doing online classes, and I do like private classes as well, like online and face to face, you just end up with loads left over.
And then a few of the ladies have mentioned the Flower Pro. Now, as you know, I'm not very good at doing sugar flowers, but I have said I'll go through the Flower Pro with you, and it is on my list to do, but I'm going to do them in the afternoons, not on the nighttime sessions. So when I come back, that's me teaching myself Flower Pro. So there's Nick's way and there's my way. So let me show you these little spoons, Rachel. I did see a lady's comment last week, it did make me laugh. I bought myself 2 of the spoons, but my son came in and took one.
For what?
I don't want to know. This is for digging your dust out. Sorry for all the noise. Oh, I've lost a spoon for some reason. I've only got 3 in here. Karen, what have you done with the spoons? Can you see another spoon in there, Simon?
Not for me yet.
I'll have to ask Karen why we've only got 3 spoons.
Maybe one's been washed and it's by the sink or something.
Okay.
Maybe one's been washed up and it's over by the sink.
Okay.
There's a load of brushes. Oh my god, they're so tiny.
You're getting your dust out.
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I kind of steer out with a brush sometimes, and other times I just tip it and like nothing comes out, and then a massive chunk comes out and you're like, oh my god. I mean, you just let it go back to dust again afterwards, don't you? So it doesn't go to waste, but then you've got to add a load extra Rejuvenator Spirit. So just sometimes you just wanted a little bit. So I've mixed these 2 colours. So I've mixed the bright gold and the glowing bronze. Quite often I mix luster dusts because just to get something a bit more bespoke, and yeah, you can absolutely mix them to get colours you want. So this is like quite a deep rich gold, whereas the gold on its own is a brighter gold. It's a more yellowy gold. I've added the glowing bronze in to make it a bit more perhaps an antique-y gold. Or
we do have a deep rich gold there.
do you? I don't think I've got one of those. No, I've got then it goes coppery on mine in terms of darkness, but you can just I've just mixed it and it's fine.
So Angela Grabo says, I can't leave my dog as he's like Lincoln. He has developed separation anxiety. He's really bad. Attached to my ankle all the time. Well, that's exactly how Lincoln is. He's now at the moment attached to John's. But if Lincoln is still with us in June, and I pray to God that he is, he will be at the demonstration days. because I'll have no choice other than taking with me.
You'll have it no other way.
But I am praying he is going to still be there. Lincoln, his legs aren't right at the moment. The demonstration days are actually on our website. The 26th of June is fully booked, and the reserve places I had have gone as well. I think the 3rd of July may be fully booked, so you'd have to wait till September now for the next ones.
Have you done these before, but just not for a while because of COVID?
No, we used to do them. We used to do them as a morning session, and everybody loved them.
Right.
So now we're doing them as an all-day session, because now we've got our own warehouse. It's easier.
Yeah.
What we had to do was rent the building across the road.
Oh, I see.
So we rented the kitchen across the road, and then everybody had to walk over to our warehouse. The problem is our warehouse was production and warehousing all in the same place, so it was very chaotic. So the new warehouse is so much better, as you know. You've been there and seen it, haven't you?
I have.
So much nicer. So Ruth Moffat says, "Hi everyone, I'm so engrossed in this and the chatting, I haven't said anything till now." So hi Ruth.
Hi Ruth.
No one needs a travelling companion, just bring yourself. Helen Williams. You know, some of you, if you have, by the way, if you have joined the demonstration days, I have set up a group for the demonstration days, not per demonstration. So if you only go to one, you're still in that group. And in there, I intend to give you, well, I've already given all the hotel accommodation, train station, and then little updates. So as we get nearer the time, I'll give you some more updates, because obviously we don't know where we're going to be in the world at that time regarding COVID.
No.
Hopefully everything's going to be okay.
Everything's always subject to change.
Absolutely. So,
unfortunately. So obviously, because we're just doing this on the tiers that are
I'm
already
still
stacked.
talking about salt here.
Oh God!
So I need to catch up.
Because we're doing this and the tiers are already stacked, we're having to be quite careful because we don't want any dripping. I've got a little bit on the board, but you can take that off with just like a cotton bud and a bit of dipping solution, or you can just leave it there. It's fine.
What brand of gold are you using? So, I can tell you, Rachel's using our new WonderDusts brand. And we brought out, I think, 6 colours at first, did we, Simon?
I think so.
And then we brought out another 5 or 6. And how many have we got coming now, Simon? Have you done those?
We've got 14 altogether at the moment.
Yeah, and what's the next one's coming? We've got another
6.
We've got another 6 coming.
No, it's got another 8.
Another 8, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, so I think we brought out 7 and 7. And then we've got another 8. Have you got that coloured board?
No,
No,
because I've not done them yet.
No, it's not done it yet.
Because I don't know whether we would go in
They're on the way.
down colours like
Yeah.
that, or the dry colours, because they change, don't they?
Yeah, I must do
We need
that.
to have the conversation about,
Yeah.
because I've done the colours dry,
Yeah.
and they change when they're wet.
Yeah, Simon and I have been having a discussion. Mulberry Crush looks stunningly beautiful. I've got Rachel to show you when you see the colour dry. In fact, I'm going to get Rachel.
It looks stunningly beautiful when it's wet as well, Carol. Don't be telling them it's not.
It looks stunningly beautiful when it's dry, but when it's painted on with dipping solution, it turns into a different colour. Which is still very nice, but it's very much a dark ruby with a hint of pink. That's the Mulberry Crush, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, you know what, Rachel, in a minute, will you just have a paint with that? Like, not like a luster, get a bit of sugar paste and just, can you dry brush it?
Yeah.
And paint it and see what it looks like.
I'll do it on that dummy.
Oh, yeah, good girl.
And then
Love
chuck
you
a bit of
already,
paint
yeah.
splatter on it on top.
Paint splatter, yeah, absolutely. So that would be good, because then me and Simon can carry on arguing out what the actual swatch is going to look like.
Oh, I
'Cause to be
see, right.
fair, Simon has done the swatch as what it is in the pot, and he's right to do that. But I said when you paint with it, it comes out a dark mulberry colour.
I see.
Anyhow,
So yeah, I
So
will.
there we go.
We'll get a little bit put on there.
looking good. I like this effect.
So the gold and the white is such a classic combo for weddings in particular. So I'm just going to put another 2 orchids onto this stem. some I made earlier. I love making orchids. They're really actually quite quick to make once you're happy with the technique and making the centres, and you know how to handle flower paste and get the shaping right and everything. They're a really nice quick flower. And they just always look pretty, don't they?
They do. How do you say this name? N-A-I-K. N-A-I-K. Just show there.
Oh, someone that's made a comment.
Yeah. Yeah. The lady's name that's spelled N-A-I-K and then surname is Anna. Is this going to be online? If you're talking about the British Sugarcraft class, which I'm not sure whether you are, yes, it's going to be online on Saturday, the 8th of May at 10 a.m. it starts, and I am the first one on, followed by Dawn Butler, followed by 2 other ladies. It's a whole day, it's £10. I'm donating my fee back to the Sugarcraft Guild. Everybody is giving in prizes. I think they are. I know we're doing prizes as well for the British Sugarcraft Guild to give out as well. And there's lots of other things that's going on as well. If you're talking about Rachel's flowers, I've got to discuss with Rachel what flowers that she wants to do as classes online.
But I have got some of them already recorded if you want to just, watch them back in your own time. But yeah, I know some of you love doing them as lives as well and joining in. So
Rachel, what make is the honeycomb mat? I can tell you it's the PME impression mat, and I think they're only about £1.49 each, aren't
they're
they?
really good value, and they do all different ones as well. But I really love the honeycomb ones. They're
saying what a lovely, amazing effect it looks like. Yep, so it's PME. So I'm just going to try and catch up with comments. So if I miss a few, I'm sorry. And my answer is Breeder watching today. So what dust are you using? The dust we're using is the WonderDusts, which is owned by Sugar and Crumbs. And it was Michelle Shellhorn. It was her son that finished one of the spoons.
Oh.
You asked him why. Carol made all my flowers with Flower Pro on that cake. Flower Pro is excellent. Yep, we're very pleased to stock that. So some of you love that, and I am teaching myself flowers on that as well. And somebody's eyes have gone. So Anne Baxter, coming up to midnight, here where I am. Where are you, Anne? Here where I am. So I'll have to leave you now, unfortunately. My eyes have given up. Would have loved to watch to the end, but you can watch it tomorrow, okay?
Definitely.
Just catch up when you want. It stays on YouTube. Just go to YouTube tomorrow and it will be the last session that comes up. They're just saying it's stunning, so I'm right up to speed now. Yeah, Breeder was watching earlier, but she's gone undercover now with all this muff diving comments.
She's like, it's not my doing.
Yeah. Jackie Adams loves the orchids.
Oh.
They love it, yeah. Right. And you're welcome, N-A-I-K. We have to learn how to say that name. How do you say it? Neek.
Nake, isn't it?
Is it Nake? Nake, is it Nake? I don't know how to say it.
Me neither. I've not even seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, so if you want to enter the draw for watching Karen, you must go to this page, which is what you're on. So come out of the live, go to the page. There's 2 posts there. There's a post there for Karen on Thursday night, and there's a post there for Karen on Friday morning. And you're only allowed 1 comment each, okay, to make it fair, so everybody gets to go. Don't write 10 comments, you'll be disqualified. So 1 comment each. I've made it very clear. You've got till Friday to draw your prize, to claim your prize, and I'll do some draws for whipping it up because that's what she was using. So that will be our giveaways for tonight.
There we go.
Wow. I have to say, Rachel, that is stunning.
But how simple, but it's has an impact, doesn't it?
The inside of the orchid there,
yes,
really goes with that bit of honeycomb,
yeah,
so it makes it
the
pop,
yellowy, yeah, just the yellowy tones.
And that's what I love about your cakes, the simplicity of things. They're not simple because it's a lot of hard work.
There's detail there, but it's not in. You don't need to be like in your face. You can leave blank space.
It's not busy, it's elegant.
And it just allows the details that are there to really kind of pop and...
And would you leave that wire there like that as the effect?
Yeah, I would do.
Yeah.
Just I
think
ran out
that's
a little
great.
bit of a tape at the end, but
Yeah.
just finished taping it off to the end.
What do you think of this?
Obviously, if you wanted to not have the stem white, you could make it more of an actual natural orchid colour.
Yeah.
Let me get this.
So-
if you wanted.
So we're going to try this now. This is the mulberry crush. So I'm going to get Rachel to use it 2 ways, dry and wet. And then you can see, I would do it on top of the cake, Rachel.
On the top.
So I'm going to get to use it 2 ways, so dry and wet, so that we can decide which is the right image that Simon should show. I'll be going over this for the rest of my life because people who won't have watched this live tonight and say that it looks nothing like what it does on the phone.
Yeah.
I think you've got to go with I think you've got to go with it dry because that's how it is when you buy it.
Yeah, I think we'll try dry first.
But you
and
could
see
add
what it looks like.
could add an extra picture if you wanted to say what it's like where.
Wet. I think we might have to.
Yeah, because otherwise
Because
you're
it's
going to
very
get people being like,
very
"Ooh."
different wet. Well, they will, because when Karen and I saw that, when John brought that in for us, we were like, oh my god, this is to die for. And then when we did it wet, we still like
like
it,
it
but it's
matches
nothing
the
like what's
board,
in the board.
doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it matches the board, but it doesn't when it's wet. But people will forget that, won't they?
Right, are you alright? I've just grabbed this from, it's been washed and dried at the sink. Do you want me to dry dust it with
You can
this?
use what you want, I don't mind.
It's a bit wet actually,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm not
it's all right.
going to
No, crack on.
use
They're
this.
saying how elegant it is.
And
Absolutely
white and gold
elegant.
will always give you that classic, even
Yeah.
no matter what the style, it will always give you that classic sort of look.
And I would never have thought of using the honeycomb. So dry, it does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look, it's matching the board.
Which is what, yeah, it does match the board, and that's what Simon's trying to say. But if you put that dry on the side of the cake, will that not fall off now? Because that's on top of the cake, isn't it?
How old's that cake?
How old? I don't know.
That cake
But
is- that
it's
cake
been
is
washed. It's been washed
washed.
recently, so it's had a bit
This
of
is the
moisture.
cake. This is
put
the
on.
cake that we lusted the other day that was bone dry, but we've washed it today.
I said just
Oh.
give
Yes,
it a wash.
We have washed sugar paste.
You've washed a cake?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was solid. It's rock solid. It's that, you know.
So
So
all that luster
Don't
dust.
put them in the dishwashers.
all-
you don't need to like soak it, but just literally
Just
like
with a
rinsing it.
damp cloth,
Yeah.
So all that luster dust that I put on the other day when I was going under, literally I took it outside this afternoon and just brushed it off. And then Karen gave it a wipe. Because Rachel said give it a wipe. I don't think, did she put it under the sink?
I didn't see because I was tidying up, so I didn't.
Right.
I didn't
Can you
see.
see how it's changing colour?
Yeah.
Or is that because the sugar paste is wet?
No, I think it's just because I'm layering it. I think
Yeah.
I'm just adding it
But can
on.
you see how it's changing colour now?
Yeah, it's got
You
like
see
a
it's-
more of a purpley.
Yeah, so can you
Cake
see
to
what
it.
I mean with
See,
that
we're
mulberry
not
tone?
seeing that though.
Eh?
We're not seeing that
Are
on
you
the
not,
screen.
no, you're not seeing that on the screen, are you? But can you see that mulberry tone, what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? Mulberry is more of a purpley pink, isn't it?
Yeah. I can see it from this angle, definitely.
Yeah. And what I'm worried is if people buy this product and then, because the colour Simon wants to give it is what's on the jar, what's in the jar, and then I'm worried that they'll get it and go, it doesn't come out like that. So when he sent me the image, I sent it back. So they can't do that.
So I don't know if I hold this up next to it, you might be able to see. So this is quite pinky. Can you see that now, Simon? This is pinky and that's got a purpley undertone to it.
Yeah, we can see that on that screen. Yeah, we can see there's some purple patches in the.
Yeah. So as I've added a second layer to
Yeah.
it, it's started to come out. Do you want me to lustre a bit now with the
Yeah, may as well.
lips?
They're all saying your cake is classy, it's gorgeous, it's stunning, it's
Oh.
beautiful.
Just
So,
like me.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I've not spent a lot of time decorating it, so you know, I've not spent.
So-
I had to spend like a whole day decorating it. Those orchids, once you know how to make the orchids, I would say a couple of hours on those.
Yeah. So this colour is called Mulberry Crush. It's actually out of stock because every time we bring the new colours in, they sell out. But John has ordered a load more.
Oh my
Can you
gosh.
see it's different again, isn't
Yeah.
it? Now look at it. See what I'm saying, Simon?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been dry.
I mean, I've got a sample of that at home, but
Yeah.
I thought, well,
Well, now you know.
you can't. I can't go.
I've just flicked it on the side of the cake.
Get some of the rejuvenator in a cloth and dab it off.
Yeah,
You've
we
got
want to
kitchen
see
roll
how
there.
you clean it off. That's,
Yeah,
that's
let's
a good
see.
demonstration.
Quick,
Well
quick,
done,
quick.
Rachel.
Yeah.
That's very thoughtful.
That's it.
Deliberate mistake.
Very thoughtful
Rejuvenator.
mistake
Oh, look,
there.
Simon can't wait. He loves this bit. Look how excited he's
Where
got.
is it? I
It's
can't
just
even
the
see
All the way
it.
down there.
That's just the camera. He's going, look at this, just the camera. So rejuvenator straight on your kitchen towel.
The quicker you can do this, the better. Look how much there is on there. Sometimes like, oh no.
You ruined it.
No, it'll all come
Surely
off.
you'll never clean that
No,
up.
it'll all come off.
It's like those QVC commercials, isn't it? The cleaning product. Let's hope it does come off.
Are the colours edible? Absolutely.
Now bear in mind this sugar paste is still really soft because I only sugar pasted it today. Whereas usually it would have been set overnight, so you'd be able to be a bit firmer with that, but I'm just a bit wary of doing that because it will totally misshape that cake.
So the second batch of the new colours sold out, but they are on the way again. We're expecting them in the next 10 days, I think. So, and then we've also ordered another 8 colours that are coming. But John's ordered plenty. He ordered plenty each time anyhow, but he's ordered even more plenty of. We're quite pleased at how you're actually really liking the colours. They're a very good price as well. You get it off, is it coming off, Rach?
Yeah, I've got a tiny, I just don't want to press any because the sugar paste is still so soft. This was the last one I sugar pasted today. So, yeah, there's a little bit on there, but I don't want to rub any harder really.
Look at that, Geraldine Allen said, Simon's in the element now. He loves a bit of drama on a cake, there you go.
So, I don't know if this is any more helpful.
So,
Let me do a second.
So this is mulberry crush, and you'll understand why I
Do it
want
this
Simon to change the colour, because it doesn't look like the colour in the pot when you get it. It's actually a very mulberry colour.
if you use it with Rejuvenator.
Yeah. What happens is it comes out to me.
But
It's
if
like
you
a
show
dark.
them, if you show
to me
that
it's like
colour, and they get by it, and they'll say it's not that colour.
I know that's what will happen is.
So this
Yeah.
is what's in the pot, and this is.
No, I mean if you show the dark colour and you look at the pot, it's
I
not.
know.
That's not that
Well,
colour.
we're going to have to show both colours,
Yeah.
aren't we? You're going to have to put a little
Well,
word.
is it the same for?
Dry, wet.
Is it the same for all colours?
No,
It's just that one.
just that one. And are you going to buff that up now?
What this?
Yeah.
Can do.
And when you dry, can you dry brush on the side of a cake?
I don't tend to dry brush, so I would. I think it's quicker to just paint it
Yeah.
because dry brushing you've got to do it like bit by bit, or else you just waste loads.
Yeah.
Whereas
I
dry
agree.
brushing, it can hold it on the brush, and you can. Whereas if you put a load on the brush, it will fall off. So you could dry brush it, but I would perhaps have the cake on a tilted turntable, or so you can.
No, I agree.
To
I
do
have
it that
wet brush
way.
all the time, which is
And then-
another reason why I'm very keen about customers knowing they're getting the right colour.
But if you are going to dry brush, what I would do is stick it on an angle. So you either have it on a turntable or just have something under it like this, like maybe a little dummy tucked under it, but have a big sheet of greaseproof so that any that does fall off catches onto your greaseproof, and then you can tip it back into your bowl rather than it just go everywhere, because it literally, it can go everywhere.
Anyhow, my girl Karen Naylor is watching. Karen, I want you to edit the comments tomorrow. Write in there what you feel about these colours so that everybody's aware. But it's only this mulberry one that's bothering me.
It's a nice colour.
It is, it's beautiful.
But I definitely prefer the painted, like just as an effect. I think it's
The painted with that half a cake that you've just done.
this one, yeah. I think it just gives a nicer coverage to paint with, whereas this is a bit more. If you're wanting something, it's a bit more ethereal, like that's a bit. It's not solid, but I prefer the solid. I think
Could you paint some little thin lines like you have done on here, just on the side of the cake, just to
on
see
the
what that
side
looks like
in
on the
this
side?
colour, in the mulberry.
Yeah. So it's called Mulberry Crush. They can't call it mulberry because they might get upset. I don't know whether they would or not. Mulberry's a mulberry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks lovely when you.
It's like say you can't use apple as a colour.
I know. When you caught
That's
that
true.
in the shine of the light, then it did look lovely. That.
Yeah. It's a good colour.
So dry brushing is great for chocolate, wet is better for cake. Well done,
Yeah.
Debbie Hargreaves, that's absolutely right.
Which is
So
why I
dry
prefer the
brush-
West.
Dry brush for chocolate, but when you do with chocolate, make sure you're wearing your gloves though, so that you don't leave any fingerprints behind.
Yeah.
Painted gives it a deeper hue. They love the painted colour, which is good. Right, so I'm going to get the drawer up now because we're 10 past 10.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm going to get the drawer up. So I'm just going to have to say goodbye to you all on comments for the moment. why I go, because I haven't got 2 appliances with me in here, why I go and find our page.
You could almost do like a pink leopard print with this, couldn't you? Paint.
Yeah, go on
No.
then, off you go.
I can't do
Show
that.
me how to do it.
Oh, I've never painted like a leopard print before.
So let me go and see the post and I'll start to load it up. So those who have commented on the post, so let me just see. Oh crikey, you lot have been busy. So I put a post up 2 hours ago for Karen's macarons. So there's 156 comments. What do you like, you lot? You're rascals, aren't you?
What are you giving away, Carol?
And there's 100.
Class.
Now, some of you haven't liked this post, and the reason I can tell is there's 124 likes and there's 156 comments. So what's going on? There's 36 of you missing. No, 40
Well,
of you missing.
some people have commented more than once.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what
Simon.
it is.
Rule
We're going to go
breakers,
through-
rule
rule breakers.
breakers.
How dare they? So you're meant to like this
We've got
post.
30 rule breakers out there who commented
And I should
twice.
have taken a screenshot of how many people like our page so you can like the page as well. I don't expect to go up because once you've liked it, you don't need to like it again. So you should be over there. Go back to your post and like your post. So I am just going to load up for the macarons. So I put 1 comment per person, please. Like this post, like our page. Did you watch Karen making whipping it up macarons on Thursday night, the 22nd of April? Since then, I've seen so many of you who have followed her hints and tips with success. Let us know what you loved most about the Facebook Live and why you want to win 4 bags of whipping it up. You have till Friday, the 30th of April, to claim your prize if you are a winner. So I am now going to go to all comments. Let's get them all. So I'm just going to start loading them all up. Now the reason I'm doing it this way, so I still want you to like and share our lives, but the reason I'm doing it this way is that I've always been quite concerned that I might have 100 shares, but I can't see 100 shares when I go to look at all the people who are sharing. So after a little bit of investigating, I've realised that if you've got your settings on a certain privacy, then we can't see your shares. So that means you'll never win anything. And I like to be very fair here at Sugar and Crumbs. So I do want people to win. So this is my way of you all having an opportunity of winning something. So please, if you are entering, read what you read the whole post and do what it says. So I'll be fair to you, you be fair to me. That would be great. And Rachel, I'm spinning away here. So I've got them all loaded up. So just one second, let me get them all loaded up. So we're up to the end.
You're going under.
Pardon?
You're going under.
Yeah, I've got you under the camera there. So we're just going to, let me keep going. When you're ready, anytime, Rachel. Oh, Zoe Tickner. So always watch the lives, they are brilliant. Karen's attitude and all the helpful hints and tips, even when things go wrong. Let me just say that again. Always watch the lives, they are brilliant. Karen's attitude and all the helpful hints and tips, even when things go wrong. Because that's how we are here at Sugar and Crumbs. We don't make out that we know it all. You know what? We're with you guys. So this is why Karen and I go...
Yes, Simon does. Totally.
This is why Karen and I end up under the table now and again when it's all going a bit mad. So we've got a winner there. So that's Zoe Tickner. So Zoe, all you need to do is email info.sugarandcrumbs@iCloud. I'll get Simon to put the little thing up for you. And then emails, tell them that you're a winner and give your address. We'll get that in the post. If you have got an order in, let us know and we'll add it to your order, which makes sense. If you haven't got an order, and we'll get that in the post. So 4 bags of whipping it up, and the girls will sort that out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to the top of here, and I'm just going to spin again because I'm in a good mood. Always in a good mood. Get your finger out. Rachel,
I'm
stop
ready.
painting.
I can't.
Oh, I've lost it.
Oh, Carol.
Lost it.
I'm keeping painting.
Oh, you were slow. Where's it gone? Right, I've got to go again now. Here we go. So let's go back 1 second. Got to load it up again. Right, all comments.
Let me know.
Right, it's not loaded up. Just 1 second. Wait a minute, that's not up. It's not loaded up. And if you've won before, you can't win again. That's in this drawer, I mean. Oh, it's gone again. Right. I'm not doing this again now. This is I'm going to give it one more go. So fragile, isn't it?
It's like you do it slightly at the wrong angle. And
yeah, exactly. It knocks it off, doesn't it? So I'm just going to go there. I'm going to be gentle now with this one. So this one's going to be slow. Let me get the comments up. So we don't want most relevant. We want all comments. So I'm just going to whiz along here. So whiz along. Let's get it all. Let's get them all up. Do you like doing it this way, or do you prefer the shares way? Right, so I am going to stroke it and I'm going to go back. So whenever you want, Rachel. Oop, there we go. And that is Sandra Green. Brilliant live with Carol. I've made macarons with the lemon drizzle, whipping it up. Absolutely gorgeous. Family love them. Next time we'll paint them with WonderDust to make them extra special. Amazing. So it wasn't with me that, it was with Karen. But anyhow, thanks very much, Sandra Green. You are a winner. So let's go on to the next one.
More?
Well, there's another one because Karen did 2 lives back to back, didn't she?
I've just done those.
No, I did 2 prizes out of that one.
Right.
So that's 2 prizes for there. So let's go to the
Go mad like Karen did.
Super jet, there's no stopping her.
Yeah.
So let's
It's
go.
like Oprah. You win a car. You win
Well,
a car.
us as a company is a very fair company. We're only small. We're not the biggest company out there, but we do our best to to be really helpful to you guys. As you know, we do free Facebook content all the time. We do lots of giveaways. We can't make everybody happy. I've made a customer unhappy tonight. Unfortunately, these things do happen. I do my best with everything, but you know what? Sometimes there's just some things that we can't do. But I like to think that we do the very best that we can, and I'm not here to upset anybody. I'm here to have a laugh. I'm here to have some fun, and I'm here to fight with Simon. He loves it, really.
At least you're fully aware of it, Simon. Like,
He comes in for abuse. He comes in for abuse. Abuse me, Carol. All right then.
Blindsided me with that one. Just like...
Goes, go on, Carol. Abuse me. Oh, sugar. Here we go. I've nearly knocked my phone off. So, here we go. Right, whenever you're ready. Oh, you're very good, you aren't you, with your finger on there? You don't get in between anything. So that's Sue Bennett. So Sue Bennett, love the live. I want to make the coffee and walnut friands this week as they looked really yummy. Really love all the recipes that Karen comes up with. I love whipping it up as it has so many uses and the flavours are divine. Okay, so that's you, Sue Bennett. And then we're going to pick another one from here. So all comments. So let's go to the top. Let's do a bit of spinning at the top there. Let's just go up here. When your finger, fastest finger.
ready?
Ooh. Oh. That's the post. When you're ready. Oh.
That's the post.
That's the post. Go on. Ooh.
Oh. There you go.
Sean Moss. Always enjoy watching Karen gain so many new recipes and have friends who are gluten free. It's something different for them. Would love to win. Whipping it up as I love it. Aww. So all you lucky winners tonight, it's on the board there. Email info.sugarandcrumbs@icloud.com. Tell them that you're a winner, where you're a winner of, whether you won the friands or whether you won the macarons. Pop your name and address on, we'll get them in the post to you tomorrow. If you've got an order coming in, say, please hang on to my order. Please hang on, I've got an order coming in. And then when you place your order in the comments, say, can you add my prize to this as well, please? And then we'll sort that out either way.
And that way you'll save a box.
And that way we'll save a box, which is very important.
Yeah.
Just in case any of you have had bounce backs today, Apple crashed today, their email. So anybody who's got iCloud or me.com, all your emails stopped working at 1 o'clock today. Around about 12:30, 1 o'clock, it actually had an outage and didn't actually really come back on again till about 6 o'clock tonight. So if any of you sent emails to us, because we work on the iCloud, sent emails and you got a bounce back, just resend it again, because the phone was going bonkers earlier about, you know, I've sent an email in and it's bounced back. It's not that we disappeared. If you go on and do a search, you'll find that Apple crashed today. They've had a massive big outage. So I just went, oh, that looks stunning. Wow, doesn't that look good, that? Wow, clever girl.
I've been watching it while she was doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like you just switch off to it, don't you? And
You
just
do.
Carry
You
on
do,
painting.
you do. So I just want to say a massive big thank you to Rachel coming in the kitchen today. Fabulous as per usual. This looks absolutely lovely. If you are on any classes tomorrow, 2 o'clock, I'm doing painting tomorrow in buttercream flowers. So 2 types of painting. Painting with luster dust. We're going to paint a tree with the WonderDust, and we're also going to do some buttercream painting as well. Wednesday, it's not on the calendar, but 2 o'clock we're doing a live because I'm going to be doing a live with the product I should have been using tonight that hasn't arrived, that's going to arrive tomorrow. And then Thursday we are back in with Karen. Friday back in with Karen. Don't forget we have Tracy Mann at 6:30 tomorrow and 11:30 on Thursday. So we guys keep you guys very busy, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Rachel, thank you. Amazing day today.
Yeah.
Well done.
Amazing.
And I can't read the comments because they're off. Do you want to get these cakes up forward and so they can see them?
First one. Just move this one over. Quite a bit of weight in these when they're finished. I'm not used to
There you
lifting
go.
real wedding cakes recently.
So love it. Fantastic live as always. Stunning cakes, tips and info. Thank you very much. That's what they're saying. Thank you, Rachel. Your work is amazing.
Aw.
Thank you, Rachel, Carol and Simon. They've remembered us, Simon. Me and you, got
You guys were here too.
I know. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. It's time Rachel went home. She's been here since 9 o'clock this morning. All right then, guys. Cheerio.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.